Hello. Welcome to Port Misery, a GH podcast where we try to figure out why everyone in Port Charles is so miserable this week. It's Tara, y'all. Hey. Back to procrastinating, back to just watching everything on Sunday. This week, like I said, I've seen episodes. I don't remember any of them except Monday because I just watched it. Like I said last week, I'm just gonna keep this format because people seem to be enjoying it, and so like you can just get the days of the week, and I guess it's helpful for people who aren't watching the full week. You're just like, I am only watching to see X character do this one thing, and the rest of the show can go straight to hell. No problem. I will watch it for you. I don't have a problem with that. Before I start talking about Monday, there are like a couple things. So I'm on Twitter. Not that I'm saying go follow me on Twitter. You can if you want, but it's not an endorsement of that. Mostly it's that like I've been writing more tweets about the show and they've gotten more traction and like normie Twitter has gotten a hold of them. I don't think normie Twitter is listening to this podcast, but if you are, stay out of soap fans' business. Like, if we want to complain about stupid shit, then let us complain about it. Don't just be like, well, it's a soap. You don't know what you mean. You don't know what you say, person. You're just saying things. You're just like seeking attention. And I don't know why. It's giving loser. It's giving loser who hasn't found their weird Twitter niche of like bullshit to like un irrationally complain about, right? Because like obviously it's a soap and things are crazy, but it doesn't mean that soap fans will just accept any slop you put in front of us. Like there's huge fights happening, not just with GH fans, but like across soaps right now. Like if you go on soap Twitter, obviously if you are there you know that there's like soap Twitter, but then like every soap has its own enclave of people who talk to each other. They're familiar with the plots that are going on, the characters, and so there's not much conversation to be had between like a person that only watches Young and the Restless and a person that only watches General Hospital. Like they just don't have anything to talk about, and so they wouldn't talk to each other. They would talk to the people who watch the show that they like, and they would most likely only talk to people who view the show in the same lens that they view it because like nobody wants to sit and argue with anybody. And so for normies, like I said, get out of here. Like go back to normie Twitter. Go talk about Marvel or Star Wars or Game of Thrones or any of these massive fandoms or find a standom to join like Swifty Twitter or whatever, like the Beehive. Do whatever you can, but like leave me alone. Leave me alone. I want to complain about my 63-year-old property in peace. That's all I'm saying. Also, on that note, this 63-year-old property is like gone off the rails again. Not in a way where I want to stop watching. I'm very invested in all of the crazy shenanigans that are taking place. I would just like to point out that they do not make sense. So, like, one person, I don't even know who this person is, but like, I made a tweet talking about how this Brit return makes absolutely no sense because it doesn't, right? It absolutely does not. And they were like, none of what I just described is happening. Well, I essentially was like, they have sis doing cold fusion. No, she's an OBGYN. I'm assuming that's what they're talking about because they were like, we don't even know what Brit's doing. Well, let's break this down. Let's break down what we do know. So we know that she is working with Kane from Y&R, who is at PCU doing cold fusion, which is why the WSB is up his ass, and he has some curly haired woman take a backpack to Dalmatia to Brit so she could work on whatever was in that backpack. Now, I assume that cold fusion nonsense was in the backpack, which goes back to my original question of why is Brit doing cold fusion when she is an OBGYN? Is she trying to impregnate the cold fusion? What's going on? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Unless they're talking about the next thing I brought up was that Liesel is confused about who's DNA Rocco has, whose blood flows through his veins. His genetic material came from Dante and Lulu. We know this. Even if you try to retcon it, I'm just going to pull the scene where Elizabeth did a whole fucking blood test and found out that that was Lulu's child because we already knew it was Dante's child because Britt had admitted that it was Dante's child because they both have some fruit allergy or some bullshit, right? So we know that Rocco is Dante and Lulu's son, but Lisa is like, he's my only connection to Brit. Nah, actually, no. No, he's not. And the way she's being written, and when I get about into when I talk about Monday's episode, I'll talk about it more. But the way she's being written is actually crazy. Jason acting like he's never loved before. Now, this is not me being anti-Jabrit. I am very Jabrit neutral. I do not care. They killed Sam off the show, and J Sam hasn't been great since 2012 when the Harbor took Jason. And so I'm not anti-Jabrit. I just think it's weird that he's kind of like acting like he's never loved before and that he spent the entire time he was like an FBI agent or whatever the fuck he was doing with Jagger, that he was just like dreaming about dead Brit or alive Brit. He didn't learn she was dead until he got back, even though can't you get newsreels when you work for Jagger? Like he just had you off the grid doing ops. Whatever. All I'm saying is that the story doesn't make sense, right? They're gonna actually, and they probably won't, but they're gonna have to explain why she knows how to do cold fusion. I work at a university. I work at a university. These are different departments. Like cold fusion, I assume is like the like chem, physics, engineering side, and obstetrics is swiftly in biology. It's human anatomy. Like they're completely different sciences. Like even on the social side of the campus, we do not do the same thing. Like I'm not gonna be pretend I'm an expert in literature when I'm not. I don't even pretend to be an expert in history. I'm not an expert in. I'm an expert in US history solely. Not Chinese history, not European history, not African history, not history at large. Like I know how to do the methodology of history, so like I can TA a class that is not in my area of expertise by like I know how to read the sources that the professor is assigning to the students and help them work through those issues. I'm not confident to teach a lecture on Han Dynasty era China. Like, and so the fact that they have Brit, who is an OBGYN, specifically deals with ladies' baby making parts, that she's doing cold fucking fusion, you're gonna have to explain that. You're gonna have to explain that to me. I've never seen Brit doing these types of shenanigans. All right? I'm just confused by it. Just today when I was on Twitter, I I saw somebody had, I think it was another person had done a screenshot of someone's tweet that was like, because Brooklyn wanted to give Geo away, that makes it okay for Nell to give Wiley away on the side of the road to Brad. What? Where, where did you get that? How did you even land there? Because like that doesn't even make sense for the story. Because Brooklyn didn't give she wanted to give her baby up for adoption. She wanted to pretty she Willow Brooklyn is Willow in this situation, right? Willow put her baby up for adoption. It, very tragically died of crib death. Like that's what happened to Willow's baby that Lucas and Brad adopted legally. Lois literally just gave her grandson away to her cousin friend from Italy because she was super sad that her man died in Afghanistan. They like legit created fake documents, gave this young man a fake birthday, like lied about his whole life. That is closer to what Nell did, and everybody on the show agrees that Lois ain't shit for it, including Geo. And so the conversations being had about this show, like the show is crazy enough. We should be able to criticize it. Normie Twitter, leave us alone. And we're trying to like sift through the crazy bullshit that this show concocts on a reg at the same time deal with the like weird machination. And I'm not talking about people on Twitter who just have different opinions than me. Like, you guys are 100% allowed to have different opinions. And I've actually had really great conversations with people who do not see the show in any way, shape, or form like I do. I just think that if you're respectful to people's opinions, like, look, we're just not going to agree on this. We're just not going to see it the same way. Let's talk about something else. We can talk about anything else on this show except this one storyline because we're not on the same page. Like, there's nothing I can say that's going to convince you. There's nothing you can say that's going to convince me. And so, like, let's just talk about how Willow ain't shit, right? Like, 'cause we agree on that. Um, that's fine, but it's like I'm cool with those people. I could talk to those people all day about even about the stuff we don't agree with because I think, we can find something to at least debate about in a healthy way. But like also you got to sift through people who literally say that Nell should be allowed to like women's rights extend to being able to give your baby away on the side of the road like it's a puppy. And so, in summation, let us complain, let us debate, let us be respectful, but also normie Twitter, step off my lawn. Get off my fucking lawn, literally. I'm getting old man Twitter on you. Get off my lawn. Anyway, let's talk about this show. I've literally been rambling on for 11 minutes. Monday. Monday was so much happened on Monday. Like, I cannot get over how busy Monday was for no reason. So many characters on. Just so many. We had Chase in Brooklyn, Joss and Pikeman. We had Emma and Gio. We had Lisa and Anna. We had Britt and nondescript European man, Christina and Cody. We had Rick and Molly. We had Ava and Alexis. We like Liz was there at a certain point. So many characters, and all of it was just dialogue. It was just talking. And so let's get into it. So first, because it was like the shortest, it was literally just them arguing, and it seems like I am not for this, but it seems like they're just trying to manufacture issues for Chaylin so he can be close to Willow. But BOQ does not want to adopt a baby right now, which I'm of two minds of this. Like, I get where Chase is coming from, being like, so we're just gonna put our lives on hold while you figure out what's happening with your son. Like, how long is that gonna take? Like, because it doesn't seem like, he a grown up, to be honest. It's not like we gotta fit this 8-year-old into our life. Like, he 22 years old. Like, he'll talk to you when he talks to you. But we get a baby. And also, you should not be surprised by this. Like, just how hard Gio's going. Like, the weird feelings. I mean, they're valid feelings. I think he's a little bit too mature to be having some of them, but they're valid feelings. But like I get Brooklyn being like, so it sounds like us doing this right now. Obviously, we were doing this prior to him finding out he was my son, but it does seem like we're just like, let's just get a replacement baby. The first one that I had didn't work out. Now he doesn't like me, and so I'll just get a new one. And I don't want that. Like, I want to have a good relationship with my son. I want him to be a part of our baby's life. I want all these things. Chase is pissed. And like I said, he can be. I feel you. I'm on Brooklyn's side with this. Like, I'm sorry. And like, this is almost like the idea of like the decision to create a baby, if that was an option for them. That like you actually need both people consenting to this. You can't just have one person being like, well, I'm super into it, and the other one's like, eh. Like, you do need both. But like I said, he's allowed to have feelings. He's allowed to not always be the most supportive husband on the planet, and he's allowed to be disappointed that he's got to put his life on hold for his wife's, mother's shenanigans, because this is really Lois's fault. So he gets a phone call, and because he was saying like, I'll talk to Gio. What is you talking to Gio about to do? What is you talking to Gio about to do? You are swiftly Team Brooklyn, so you are biased, and he knows that. And so, um, he gets a phone call. He goes to take it, and it's just him. Like, hey, do you have any work? Is crime happening? Do you need to arrest Sonny? Because I gotta get away from this bitch. I did not like that that now you're just like seeking out ways to be away from your wife because you're upset. That's not a cute look. But like I said, he is allowed to be upset. Not forever, bruh. You will not get this goodwill past Monday. Like if this behavior is happening Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm over it. I'm over it, Chase. I'll yeet you from the good husband list so fast. It's your head will spin. He does run into Geo, doesn't say shit to him. Does not say shit to him. So mission failed. That step two failed. Anyone stepping to anyone like in my hospital or related to my hospital or affiliated with my hospital, they are unable to step to these people. The step two always fails. Like the sunny DNA wafts off Geo, and Chase was like, I gotta go. Hilarious. But that was BLQ and Chase. Let's go to Spy Hospital. uh, it should be the number. It should be the last story I tell, but I refuse to make Spy Hospital the most interesting story. I don't give a fuck what's happening. And yes, that means Christina's hospital is number one, but I'm sorry. On GP, I cannot let Spy Hospital be number one. Fuck it. So let's talk about Joss the spy. Joss is now just a professional liar to her mom. But she's not even that good at it because Carly's already a professional. Like, she's a world class liar, like, world champion liar. And so she can't just be straight lied to. She does accept the bullshit story at the end because it goes into, like, propping up her ego as a mother. That happens. Sorry, girl, you lost. But Joss, Pikeman essentially is like, you a newlywed, you gonna go to Dalmatia, don't do anything crazy, just get the tea. Joss is like, cool, I gotta go find my mom and lie to her face. Carly at that point calls Pikeman. He's like, I already found her for you. So Joss knows she's at the Metro Court, goes there. She's like, hey, you know that one woman. Oh, I just hit my mic. My bad. I don't know what that's going to sound like. I apologize. But she tells her mom that she going to Australia to help her dead grandmother's bestie who don't have any family. She got a whole ass ranch, but she ain't got no family member to take care of her. Carly is rightfully like, doesn't Jax live in Australia? Can't he just handle that shit in like one phone call? Have that whole woman with like a whole host of people? She's like, yeah, but he won't go see her. Carly's like, okay. And so, who gives a shit? Don't you have school? Don't you have a job? What's going on? And she's not buying none of this. So then Joss switches up and she's like, I thought about what you said about Dollar Tree Dex. And you right. He is 35 and I should stay away from him. So I thought, what a better way to stay away from his ass than go to Australia because he's a bum ass bitch who works as a janitor. So he can't afford to go to Australia. Carly's like, okay, that makes sense. And then here come Pikeman. Hey, what's going on? You going to Australia? That's so weird. He's with Carly. Like, you feel safe sending her to Australia? She's like, yeah, it's fine. I can't wait for those two to break up. I cannot wait for Carly and Pikeman to break up. I cannot wait for Carly to find out that her daughter is a spy and that Pikeman made her a spy and that these two have been lying to her face like she's just some bitch to lie to. Apparently she is. That's what they made her. Upsetting. Upsetting. But she gets the green light. She can go. She can go. At the same time, Anna calls Carly. Carly's like, ooh, Anna calling. Anna's like, girl, I need to talk to you right now. Where you at? She's like, I'm at the Metro Court. What you need to talk to me about? She's like, it's about Jocelyn. Stay there. We're gonna come back to Anna. We're gonna come back to Anna. Carly is waiting for Anna. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. Let's go over to Emma and Geo. So Emma and Geo are fighting over who gets to be the true dummy of this story. Geo is like, I should break into this lab because I ain't got no family. I got nothing to live for. Emma is like, I should break into this lab because I care about this more and this is my thing. And they're literally just having this dumb fight about animals when we know that this shit is about cold fusion. This is about cold fusion. So she knows nothing, and neither does Geo. And I'm also just like, because he kept talking about it, I'm really sick of hearing Gio be like, my family lied to me. No, they did not. Two people in your family lied to you and everyone else in your family, and you've been punishing everyone else ever since because those two people don't even live in Port Charles anymore. Those two went back to Bensonhurst. So you have literally just been punishing Brooklyn, Dante, Ned, Olivia. You kind of talked to Sonny a little bit, but not really. Rocco, all these people. Like, they're the ones getting all your animosity, and they didn't do nothing. Like, I understand you being mad at Dante because, he accused you of fatherless behavior, not realizing that he was the father that you were missing. I get that you're mad at Brooklyn because you wish you had made better choices or different choices. Nothing not better, but different. And grow up. Grow up. Stop talking about this. Like, stand on business or don't. But this whole, like, I miss my family, then go be with them. What's the problem? What's going on? Give Anna her fucking apartment back. Like, I y'all can't, you really actually have to show more conflict between Gio and his family or just get them to make up, because like having him just be so salty towards them when they have not done anything to him, like, I've seen Tracy Quartermain fuck with people. She didn't fuck with him. She just mildly reminded him that he's a freeloader, which he was, and that like Lois had no fucking right to invite him to live there, which she didn't, to be honest. But like she wasn't doing anything crazy to you. And then apparently Ned and Olivia were nothing but nice and generous. And so I'm over it. Like, give him real conflict or have him make up. Have a makeup. We were at the Dom event, me and Tracy from Sunday Shift, and Dom was saying how like Frank had told Gio, the actor who plays his name is Gio in real life. We told him that like, oh, you got to be meaner to Dante, or y'all gonna be making up by next week. No, Frank, let them make up. Let them make up because no one fucking, and by no one I mean me. No one fucking cares about this. No one cares to see this young man yell about Dante and Brooklyn and Ned and Olivia and Tracy when they didn't really do anything to him. They didn't do anything to him. And like the thing that he's mad about Dante about, y'all can just have them resolve that. You can just have them resolve it. But like Dante didn't know that he existed, like that he had a son out there. And so I'm done talking about this. Y'all can see how this is dumb. Jocelyn goes to see Emma because she obviously quit the Raggedy Kane from Y&R job. She's like, look, I quit the job. He's probably gonna ask you to take it. You should not take it. It's bad for you. Now, she does not say that the man is doing cold fusion. She's just like, he is a perv who's trying to sleep with his assistant, which is probably true and actually gross. And Emma is hard headed as hell, and she didn't hear none of it. She don't hear none of it. Because, like I said, she's currently in a fight with Gio over who gets to be the dumbest person in the story. Now, they both might lose to Carly in the end, to be honest, because she really is the sleeper, like, hit of being a dummy in this story, believing everything her daughter tells her. And she's not actively trying to like break into things. So it's still Gio and Emma coming out ahead of her. I'll let you know when the story concludes who wins dummy of Spy Hospital. And if it's Carly, that's why she needs to stay at Mob Hospital. That's all I'm saying. Get out of Spy Hospital, girl. This life ain't for you. But let's go to the final thing in Spy Hospital. It's Liesel confronting Anna. They got Liesel like running up on Anna, insulting her, calling her scarecrow. And then Anna got to stand there and comfort her for reasons I don't fucking understand. Ain't no way you gonna run up on me, call me scarecrow, and then wax poetic for 5 fucking minutes about how your daughter's dead and I should feel bad for you, because I fucking don't. And then she like brings up like, I feel so bad that what I did to Robin, I feel so, so bad. Okay, so you feel bad about what you did to Robin, but you don't feel bad about what you did to Dante and Lulu? Okay, girl. That's so compartmentalizing where you out here feeling bad because you took Anna's daughter from her, but you don't feel bad that you took Dante and Lulu's fucking son from them. Is it because he's a boy? Is that why daughters are just special? Fuck Liesl. Like I love Kathleen Gotti, and I like her on the show. I think she brings a good energy. This is what I mean when I say the writing of this show, when it comes to Brit's return specifically, doesn't fucking make sense. Because why would she feel bad about what she did to Robin, but not about what she did for Dante and Lulu? Like that's still fucking bad. And you still, it didn't seem like Brit don't feel bad. They're really out here like we're the heroes of this. You wouldn't have this baby. Okay, like they couldn't have got a different surrogate. Like, why? If Brit could carry the baby, someone else would carry the baby. None of this makes sense. But like, why would she specifically feel bad about what she did to Robin? Is it because of the rage room scene with Anna where they broke televisions together? What is going on? And if she feels so fucking bad, then why is she running up on her, calling her Scarecrow? What's going on? But whatever. They're talking about that. She's like, I wanted to retrace the steps of my Britta's heroicism. Brit did zero acts of heroicism, we learned. I mean, she saved Jocelyn, sure, but then she went and faked her own death, and there's nothing anyone can convince me that faking your death ain't a punk bitch move. Like, there's nothing you can say. That's a punk bitch move. Why are you faking your own death? For what? For why? And I remember Anna last week being like, she wants to have some dignity in death. Girl, go to Washington State and get assisted suicide if that's what you want. Like, I think Washington and California have like assisted suicide laws. Massachusetts might have those as well. Like, there's plenty of ways to get dignity in death that doesn't involve convincing your entire family that you were killed by a serial killer and potentially putting someone. Now, I don't feel bad for Heather. I want to preface that before someone's like, I don't feel bad for Heather Weber. Okay. And that she didn't commit that murder. Like Heather did not commit that murder because that woman is still alive. She was charged with the wrong crime. She should not have been charged with murder. She should have been charged with attempted murder. She still would have done time. She'd still be fucked up and she still would have got let go because Rick got her out for having a bum fucking hip. But she definitely did not murder that person. Get Brit's fucking picture off that hero's wall. Get her picture off the hero's wall. In summation, for that, I don't want to hear about Brit's heroism. Get out of here. Shut up. Then Liesl accuses Anna of abandoning Robin for the WSB, which isn't wrong. It's not wrong. She says that that's what happened. But Liesl Obrecht should not be the messenger of this. This should not be something that's coming out of Liesl Obrecht's fucking mouth. That's all I'm saying. But in the end, like I said, Anna called Carly because she was like, you know what? Daughters are the only thing that matter. Let me call Carly to warn her about her daughter. Right when that happens, someone snatches Anna up. And I'm like, did Pikeman text? Like, was he sitting there, like, thumbing it while looking in Carly's eyes? Like, go get that bitch Anna Duvain and lock her up in my office? Okay, but Anna gets got at the end. Like she's still alive, but she gets got and she is now on lockdown. She gets got like she's Latino son. And if I was Anna Duvain, I'd be embarrassed as hell. Like not you kidnapping me off the street like I'm Latino son. Absolutely not. Um Oh, there's one more thing. We do see Brit in the episode. Brit is, I'm just gonna put her in Spy Hospital. I was making her her own hospital. Fuck that. Anyone talking about Brit or Brit related shit that's not Rocco is gonna be a Spy Hospital. Brit's just in the episode being drunk and messy. She just being drunk and messy. She arguing with nondescript European man. She's talking to the off-screen mysterious boss that they still have not cast and probably don't know who it is, cause unless they just cop out and make it White East African Warlord, even though it seemed like they were not making it White East African Warlord, like he was answering to somebody too. But if it's not him, that they have no idea who the fuck it is, not a clue. She's still calling Rocco Ben. Girl, girl. How she still have access to her like pictures that she had before she faked her death? What's going on? Like, why you still got a picture of yourself with Rocco? Because I'm sure that all those pictures were purged in Port Charles. We weren't keeping them. And so, okay. Sure, I guess. Let's do Christina's hospital because this segment is long as hell. It's already 30 minutes long. My bad. I had that little like 10-minute rant that I did in the beginning because I needed to get it off my chest. Let's do Christina's hospital really quick. So Christina runs up on Cody, getting that mole checked. Like, oh my God, this mole took up way more time than I thought it would. But I guess it's like the writer's way of showing us that Cody really likes Molly and he respects her opinion. Great. Great. I don't care about this man's mole. Put your shirt back on. Put your shirt back on, sir. But Elizabeth runs up like, hey, why is Christina here? But she seemed like she don't give a fuck. To be honest, Elizabeth seemed like she got a lot going on. She got Dark Willow living with her. She got Rick, who she doesn't want to fuck, or she does. She thinks she should not fuck, but she kind of wants to. Her sons are on different continents. She got a lot going on. She don't care about fucking Cody and Christina. But Christina is like, I need you to hurry up and bang Ava. To be honest, I need you to get with the getting. Cody is like, well, I was doing this because Molly is my friend, and now she's not my friend. So why should I keep doing this? Stop it. Let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there. You were not doing this because Molly is your friend. You're doing this because Christina is paying you an assload of money. That's why you're doing this. Molly is immaterial of why you are fucking doing this. Because, like, if it was about her, Christina would not be paying you a dime. Christina is like, fine, you don't want to do it to my sister for my sister, I'll give you another 10 grand. Like I said, man doing it for the money. She tells him to go over to her mom's office because Ava is there. And she ends up telling him to make up some shit about card game. He goes there, runs into Ava. They have eyes. Now Ava is there because she's done getting cucked by Rick Lansing. He has made googly eyes at Elizabeth one too many times, and she's over it. And so she goes to Alexa. She's like, "Hey, girl, I'm gonna do you a favor. You gonna give me just a little bit more of that baby's money. You gonna give me 1.5 million more of the baby's money, and then I'm gonna give you this key, and I'm gonna delete the footage, and then we're gonna be done. Fuck Rick. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna say?" Okay, like we have reached the stage of mutually assured destruction, and so ain't no reason to keep this up. Alexis, for her part, is not she's not leaning too hard into this because that'd be too obvious. She's like, "Are you sure? I don't know. Maybe you should have stopped taking money." Ava's like, "I'm not gonna stop taking money. Like, be so fucking serious." Then Alexis is like, "Well, Rick is so vindictive. He's clever. Like, what we gonna do?" Ava's like, "Doesn't even matter. I'm clever. Y'all forgot who I am." And so Alexis like, "Bet, let's go." And so she feels like she's in the clear. I have a feeling that we are not in the clear. Ain't no way we're gonna get out of this that easy. Like I said, Cody shows up. Finally, you got Molly and Rick. Molly invites her dad to dinner, which is great because I like to see the two actors together. They have really great father-daughter chemistry, even though this is the first time they've been acting together since Kristen Vaganos took over the role. But I really like the Rick and Molly Kim. Even though he's like one of several people in her life just lying to her fucking face. She's like, so I'm writing a book. Just want you to know, just like throwing it out there. Please don't tell anyone. He's like, I'm not gonna tell anyone. She's like, please don't tell Ava. He's like, I will 100% not be telling Ava. I do my best to not talk to Ava if I do not have to. She's like, great. Why do you date her then? You could do better than Ava. Molly, no, he can't. No, he can't. Ava is trash just like Rick is. They're the same type of trash. This is why they shouldn't be together. Like, because it's like bouncing off each other, but they deserve each other, to be honest. At that point, Elizabeth shows up. Like I said, Elizabeth was just popping into storylines in Christina's hospital. She saw Christina and Cody together, and then she goes to see her off-screen friend who ditched her. Was it Terry? Was it Terry? Because you don't let Terry be on the show. Terry just lives in the off-screen extended universe now. Mm. But Liz shows up like, oh my God, I wanted to tell you that Willow is acting crazy and she went to see Michael and she's fucking up your case. Rick is like, God damn it. Okay, can you keep her on a leash? Can you have her tell her to just do what you do? Because you're the best person, the best, most beautiful, special woman in the world. Liz is like, oh my God, you don't mean that. Molly comes back, like, we should all have chocolate souffle. And Rick pulls up a chair, and, like, they are really trying to get, like, what is it, a third lyric wedding happening here? It's crazy. It's crazy. But that is pretty much all that happened on Monday's episode. I'm gonna stop talking so I can go watch Tuesday's episode because I'm terrified about how long this episode of Port Misery is about to be because I decided to go on an unhinged 11-minute rant about how normie Twitter needs to leave soap Twitter the fuck alone. All right, so I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, I'm back. what what can we say about this show? So remember how I said I had watched episodes of this show, but I could not remember any of them. Tuesday's episode is what triggered me to write the tweet about how this show don't make no damn sense, essentially. Because, like, there was still a lot of people on today. There wasn't as many as yesterday's episode, Monday's episode, but, like, there was still a lot. But this is where people start telling people about spy hospital shenanigans. People start putting things together, but like the things that they're telling people and the things that they're putting together don't make no damn sense. They don't make no damn sense. Now, I think the larger tweet is for the continuing of the week, so this will be the theme of this episode. Why this story makes absolutely no sense in any way, shape, or form, but also how I'm just gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with it. I'm not saying, like, at this point, we can't change it. We cannot change it, so we gotta go with it. What I'm saying is, none of this shit makes sense. Not a goddamn thing. Let's get into it. Spy Hospital. Spy Hospital is back. Anna she got kidnapped by Pikeman because, like I said, he was on the date with Carly, all thumbs, looking at her eyes, being like, kidnap that bitch Anna Duvain. Kidnaps her. What time is it? I think that is a question that I frequently have when I watch General Hospital. I'm constantly like, what time is it? Is it the morning? Is it Sunny and Jason were at the Metro Court? It seemed like it was nighttime. It seemed like it was nighttime. But I'm never sure what time it is because people are wearing the same clothes. Like Carly looked like she was wearing the same clothes that she was wearing with Pikeman. Pikeman was on a date with her, so she went to the hospital late at night to go see her. But I guess that's fine. That's fine. Sure, it's nighttime. I'm sorry. I had to work that out. I'm sorry y'all had to be a part of it. So Anna got kidnapped in the middle of the night on the docks by Pikeman. She is like, what the hell, my guy? I am the police commissioner. Remember, you actually cannot be behaving like this. He's like, girl, you can't be behaving like this. Cause what the fuck you doing? All right, do you think I'm stupid? You think I don't know that you investigating my WSB investigation? Be so fucking serious. She's like, what if I am? What if I am? What you about to do? What are you about to do? He's like, I'm going to tell you everything. And so he starts to lie to her and give her half truths. She's like, listen, as you just said, I have been investigating your investigation. So let me save you some trouble. And she just tells him everything that's going on. The only thing that he tells her is pretty much that Kane from YNR is doing cold fusion. Like I said, he's doing cold fusion, which is for like nuclear weapons, essentially. And he's sending this research to Britt Westbourne, who is an OBGYN. Once more. Once more. This is not a nuclear physicist. Moving on. She's just like, what's going on with Jocelyn? He legitimately is like, Agent Jax is one of my finest agents. She's like, Agent Jax, what the oh my God. And he is like, I sent her to go track down the other scientist in the Balkans. I've sent this 22-year-old girl to the Balkans, which has yet to go more than 5 years without having a civil war for the past 1,000 years. That's where I sent my girlfriend's daughter. Anna's like, you dummy. This episode is literally gonna be called Will the Real Dummy Please Stand Up? Because every storyline got the dumbest dummy who ever dummied. Spy Hospital, Pikeman just came into the running as biggest dummy in Spy Hospital. So far we got Gio and Emma, we got Carly, and now we got Pikeman. He's like, I did nothing wrong. What are you talking about? She's like, you just sent your girlfriend's daughter to the fucking Balkans. What the fuck? And she just starts to read him. He reads her like, bitch, you not about to do nothing. You can have all these feelings, but you're not about to do nothing. What you about to do? Because if you do something, I'm going to shoot you in the face. And someone's going to give me a medal for it. Or I'm going to put you in Steinmauer. Same medal will be awarded to me. So, bitch, fall back. She's like, here's what's good. I hear you. I hear you. I can't do shit. You know who can do some shit? Carly Spencer. And she goes on to remind him that when Carly finds out that he manipulated her young adult daughter, who does not have a fully formed frontal cortex yet, that she will kill him dead. She will kill him. This is a woman who shot a man in open court. This is a woman who showed up to her own funeral. This is a woman who literally popped up in a train wreck and just started running around having memories with Jason Morgan. This woman does not care about her own life. She married Sonny 4 times. She does not care about her own well being. She doesn't care about being put in Steinmauer. Good luck with that. Um, Once Anna hears that Joss is going to Dalmatia, she realizes that Britt is probably the scientist that Kane from YNR is working with. Here is my question. Why would she think that? I understand that Jason said he saw Britt going on a flight to Dubrovnik and somewhere in Dalmatia. And then, oh, they're going somewhere in Dalmatia. Why are we acting like Dalmatia is the size of like a small neighborhood in mid America? Like, this is a big place. Like, just because Britt was on a flight to Dubrovnik and now Jocelyn, because Britt, once more, is an OBGYN, not a astrophysicist. So what are we talking about? Like, she's not a nuclear physicist. She's not doing cold fusion. She was giving women IVF. She was collecting splooge samples from men who were trying to do IVF with their wives. She was not doing cold fusion. So why would we immediately jump to like, it must be Brit in Dalmatia not dead doing cold fusion? Why, how do we get there? Like, the story is not storying. It's not making any sense. Like, I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with it. Cause what is the option? And not but and that shit don't make sense. Make it make sense. And maybe they'll throw in a line where Brit's like, before I went into literal medicine, I was into nuclear physics. And my response is, if you're doing cold fusion, you're at like the graduate level doing that shit. And so you would have had to go to like you would have had to, instead of going immediately to medical school, you would have had to do like a graduate, or a master's in physics, in nuclear physics, before you just completely switched specialties in every fucking way, shape, or form, because STEM is a plethora of different things. That's just like an acronym for broad categories in the field, like science, technology, engineering, and math. A lot of things fall under the category of science or technology, right? And so like it's very weird to go from physics to biology. That's a weird leap, but sure, give me that line. That's all I'm saying. Just explain how this bitch knows cold fusion. But Anna realizes that Jason's right to be suspicious as hell is Brit, and maybe we do gotta go after her. And like, is she? Because I did see Wednesday's episode, so I know what happens. I guess I'll just wait till Wednesday. Let's move on. That's Spy Hospital. We're gonna talk about it more in Mob Hospital because we cannot escape Spy Hospital apparently. But let's go to Black Hospital really quick. Black Hospital probably should have been the first story I talked about, but like I said, I just want to disrespect Spy Hospital any chance I get. And so Black Hospital, Curtis Ashford is the dummy of Black Hospital. That's what we learned in this episode. Because he just sounds dumb as hell. He tells Portia that he made a truce with Drew, even though Drew still has all of the information that could destroy Portia's life and career. Um, then you didn't. That's not forming a truce. That's just him. That's you choosing to take his word. And why would you choose to take his word when he's done nothing but lie to you guys for months and months and months and months and months? Doesn't make any sense. And Portia's just like, great. I'm so happy that that's happening. Why? Why would you be happy, Portia? Go back to quitting. Go back to quitting. Now Portia is in the running for biggest dummy of Black Hospital. Purtis is fighting, but Jordan's still in the running because like she's a loser. But yeah, they're like celebrating the fact that they have done nothing to get themselves underneath what's happening to them. All the while, Drew now knows that Aunt Stella casually commits insurance fraud to help her patients. And so I'm sure that's coming up soon. I think it comes up this week, so we can talk about a different episode. But yeah, that's happening. Portia then is like, cool. So like the Drew shit's handled. It's not, girl. It's not. But yeah, the Drew shit's handled. So what about us? Like, can we come back from this? Because that's literally been the only thing I cared about this entire time. Curtis says yes, and then he like apologizes for, just being the worst husband that you can't talk to because he freaks out and judges you immediately. So he like forces you to lie to him so he can like freak out and judge you for it. It's crazy. She's like, of course, no, it's my fault. I did things too. Portia, stand up. Stand up. Because like, what are we talking like? I truly hope she cheats on him with attractive biracial doctor. That's what I'm gonna say. Stop apologizing to this man. He says he's giving her a second chance. I'm like, bruh, you were having an emotional affair with your ex-wife. What the fuck are we talking about? Like, okay, we're just gonna ignore that part. We're gonna ignore that part, I guess. And he says that Drew made him realize that she deserved a second chance, and she's rightfully offended. She's rightfully offended. She's like, what the hell? What do you mean? Yikes. But they decide to have a second chance. And like I said, Drew is about to just like go after the most beloved person in Black Hospital. And I think that that might actually be his downfall because, like, ain't no way. Like, you can, like, justifiably go after Portia and Curtis and probably Jordan, you cannot be going after Aunt Stella or Trina or something like that. That is not something you will survive on this show. So, good luck because people fucking love Stella Henry. Like several iterations of this hospital, like cap for this woman. Tracy Quartermain loves that woman. Sonny Corinthos loves that woman. You know, like Martin loves her. Laura loves her. Like she is beloved. So going after her is actually fucking crazy. But you know, Black Hospital. Oh my god, we had to get through it. Let's go to Delusional Hospital really quick. So I'm still calling it Delusional Hospital. I know I said it was no more, but I'm gonna keep it. I like the name. And like Willow doesn't have to be the most delusional person in it. You know, she's actually the most rational, to be honest. She's Willow Tate is 100% not the dummy of Delusional Hospital. That is a race for the bottom for several other characters. But let's get into it. Chase and Willow. Dark Willow is now in full control. Full control. And she is manipulating the hell out of Chase because he is a dummy. He is in the lead for the dummy of Delusional Hospital right now. She asks him about her kids and learns that they're doing better than ever without her, to be honest. Like, we should alert her to the fact that she is a terrible mother and she needs to get therapy because they're thriving without you, girl. She takes absolutely no responsibility for anything. She says words like she is, right? But then immediately goes back to calling Michael and Carly heartless ass bitches, right? She's like, yeah, I know I was like freaking out and I showed up in my wedding dress with raccoon eyes and scared my child, but like Carly could have understood. It's amazing. This is not a knock to Dark Willow. Dark Willow, be unhinged and unapologetic all you want. I stand behind you, girl. Manipulate Chase. Manipulate Brooklyn, come get your husband. Obviously, he needs to have a leash on him. He's got that golden retriever personality. He cannot be allowed to walk the streets by himself. He doesn't know how to make good decisions. But Chase is like, oh my God, Willow, you're such a good person. Everyone's got. I know you did like cheat on your husband with his uncle and have a months long emotional affair and then actually cheat on him. And then he got burnt up and you moved in with Drew with your children. And then you tried to take the children from Michael and you lost. And now you feel bad, but you're a good person. You're good. You're such a good person. She's like, thank you so much. And he agrees to testify for her. Carly walks up because Carly was dealing with mob hospital shenanigans. And Willow tries to like fake apologize to her. She's like, oh my God, I'm so, so sorry. I'm so, so sorry for all the things. Carly's like, I'm not buying it. Your sister said she was sorry too, and she wasn't fucking sorry. So fuck her, fuck you. It's giving Nell. You're giving Nell. And she leaves, and Willow just like, oh, I'm so shocked, so offended. Great girl. Let the anger turn into hate and let the hate turn into power. Cause I'm here for it. I'm here to see you do something crazy, kidnap them kids, do something. I don't know, but it's gonna be great. Also at Delusional Hospital, it's Dante and Michael. Now Dante and Michael usually live in other hospitals, Mob Hospital, Spy Hospital, PCPD Hospital, you know, business shenanigans hospital, all you know. But today they're over here at Delusional Hospital because they're talking about Dark Willow and her casual kidnapping ways. So Michael tells Dante that he thinks that Willow kidnapped them kids. Not the kids, the Misha affair baby, one kid. Dante really tries to be like, "Are you sure? Are you sure? Because that is a serious ass accusation. You know, it could be our father's mob associates. Because, you know, they ain't shit." Michael was like, I really wanted to think it was the mob associates, but like, why are mob associates like so some big burly mob associate is just going into the freaking the little nursery at the hospital switching babies for shits and giggles when Willow there at the same time, the big burly man just coming in changing onesies, turning babies around and shit. That don't make no sense. Dante's like, ooh, yeah, you right. Yeah, you right. Well, let's arrest that hoe. Fuck her. Michael's like, no, no. Because like the my message of this episode is timing is everything. Information is power. And timing is everything. And I'm gonna get into what I mean about that in a second, but that is pretty much Michael and Dante's conversation. Michael tells his big brother that, Willow did that shit. But I'm gonna need you not to be a cop because I'm doing mob shenanigans. I'm doing delusional hospital mob shenanigans. And Dante's like, cool. Because Dante's in his like shrug, my family is a bunch of mobsters. I just gotta live with it. And so that is a delusional hospital. Let's go to mob hospital just to get it out the way. Just to get it out the way, let's talk about Carly and Lucas. So Carly asked Lucas to move home. He doesn't, and he still remains the biggest dummy in Mob Hospital. It's not even there's not even a competition at Mob Hospital of who's the dummy. It is Lucas. Carly might be the dummy over at Spy Hospital, but she's one of the smartest people at Mob Hospital. Lucas, on the other hand, he is the dummy. He is literally like, Marco can do no wrong. He is the greatest man who ever lived. I don't know why they call him Latino son. He would never team up with his father because he is a good man, Savannah, unlike Sonny Corinthos. And you keep capping for him, and I can't stand by it. But I love you, girl. And then they have Carly say some whack shit like, oh my God, I was so wrong to talk shit about your relationship with Brad, your relationship with Latino. So I mean Marco. Girl, his relationship with Brad was full of nothing but lies, where Brad literally took a baby at the side of the road and said, yeah, let me have it because this baby died. And I don't know how to tell Lucas because I just want to lie to his face. That's what I do. And now Lucas is with Latino's son, who also lies to his face. And he's like going around town fighting Sonny in public for him, only for Latino's son to be mobbed up with his daddy at the Metro Court restaurant. Embarrassing. Dumb. You a big old dummy. And so let's get away from it. Let's talk about Tracy tells white East African warlord about Sonny's laundered money and deception. This is what I mean about this episode is about timing. Timing's everything. Cause Michael want to hold on to the information until he's at that trial so he can make sure Willow never sees them kids again. Tracy is like, I'm going to turn in Sonny. White East African warlord is like, nah, you can't do that. Now, while they're talking, the horny DA comes over to berate Latino son about his Robert Frost ass statement, and Latino son is like, bitch, I said what I said. Have a nice day. But after she leaves, Latino son is like, listen, queen. I know you want to turn Sonny in, you want to put his ass in jail. So do I. What I'm saying is, if you had turned in the info when my mama gave it to you, or my homophobic mama gave it to you, then people wouldn't be staring at you. But the fact that you waited all these months, you divested him from the company, it makes you look guilty. It makes you look guilty. White East African warlord is like, it sure do. It sure do. If I was on that jury, I'd say take all them bitches' money. Take the pennies they swallowed as a child. Um she is like, I don't have to listen to y'all. I don't have to listen to a man who lives in a shitty fake medieval castle on an island and his Latino son. You like kicking it with Lucy Cole, you bum ass bitch. Tracy not about to call the police. She was swiftly convinced. She just doesn't like to be told what to do. But she not telling on Sunny. And just like I said, she was not going to tell on Sunny. I'm like, they're not going to tell on Sunny. I don't know how they get out of it, but they're not telling on Sunny. Um, After she leaves, white East African warlord tells Latino son, who is fully mobbed up at this point, that he paid off the judge to give Michael custody of them kids with this like random, bank account that looks like it could be anything. So if anyone was to find out about it, they would all just assume it was Sonny because, he's a mobster. And then everybody would be mad at him. Michael would lose custody of his kids. Michael would be mad. And like, if he don't want that to happen, he's gonna like straighten up and fly right. Do what the fuck I say. And Latino's son is like, yeah, let's do that shit. Let's do it right now. And then, white East African warlord is like, nah, son, because timing is everything. Here's the thing. It sounds like it's a really smart plan. Like, oh my god, that's so smart. But it's not smart because why would like it, cuz it sounds like he's going to blackmail Sonny with this. He's going to be like, "I paid off this judge, so you have to do what I say." What prevents Sonny from telling Jason, who is the most trustworthy person in Mob Hospital? And then Jason, once everything is said and done, Jason goes to every member of the family and is like, "Sonny didn't do that. Sonny did not do that. White East African warlord did it." Why wouldn't Sonny just go to Michael himself and be like, "Here's what's happening, son. Turns out White East African warlord paid off the judge." I don't know why he did that shit. He is a true fucking weirdo. But that's what happened, and now we gotta like be ready for that. What stopped Sonny from just telling people he didn't do that and being believed? Like, why wouldn't they believe him? Like, I could see if this was like last year when Sonny was off his medication, he was fighting everybody in his family, and then some shit like this happened. That makes sense. But like, why would Sonny pay off the judge? Sonny is the one person in Mob Hospital who is team joint custody. He was team like, I think they should both just work this shit out and fuck Drew Kane. Like, but whatever. That's what's happening with White East African Warlord. He thinks him and the writers think they're eating. They're not eating. Because like I said, none of this makes sense. This is not even Spy Hospital. This is Mob Hospital, and this don't make sense. But it makes more sense than Spy Hospital. I'll give it that. I can give it that, but it still doesn't make that much sense. But let's finish it up so I can go to Wednesday because this is already long as hell. Sonny and Jason, softball kings. Jason tells Sonny about Britt and Spy Hospital and how he thinks Britt's alive. He tells Sonny that he's not gonna look for Britt because she was sick and it's probably what she wants. Pretty much what Anna told him, that like you shouldn't do that. um Sonny is like, "Oh, I feel so bad because I know how much Brit meant to you." Here's the problem. No, he doesn't. Sonny actually doesn't know that because Sonny Corinthos, Sonny Corinthos went to Nixon Falls. It's still a really hard time for me. Yes, Sonny was there when Britt and Jason started. And Sonny went to Nixon Falls. And when he came back, he was convinced that Jason was in love with Carly. And then Jason got taken by the cave. And then he still continued to believe that Jason was in love with Carly and Carly was in love with Jason and that Charlie was trying to cuck Sonny Corinthos. That is the story that y'all told to justify Sona. That's the story you told. First of all, you didn't need to tell that story because if Sonny just wanted Nina more than Carly, that's justifiable. Like, that is a show. Like, he could just be like, "I don't want you anymore, girl. Sorry, I moved on." But like, you decided to tell this story where like one of the driving reasons that he's even comfortable acknowledging his feelings for Nina is because he is convinced that Charlie were trying to cuck him. He was not concerned with Jabrit. He does not know how much Britt means to Jason because he was always convinced that Jason has a weird soft spot for Carly. But whatever, like I said, I just wanted to complain about it. It's not really taking me out of the story. I'm just bitching to bitch because normie Twitter said I couldn't, and I'm just gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep doing it. But they're talking about Brit. Here comes the horny DA to berate Sonny now. She was berating Latino son. Now she berates Sonny, and she's like talking about like, "You rigged the game." I thought she was in the game. Turns out she's not even in the game. She's not even in the game. It was like they were playing the firefighters or something. Because I was like PCFD, and I was like, "Oh, Port Charles Fire Department, duh." Um, and she was like, "You rigged it, girl. Why are you so obsessed?" Like, it's very weird. Like, were you tracking his softball games? Like, shouldn't you be looking at his finances? Like, why are you tracking the softball games? How many fucking hits they're getting? That's weird. But Sunny immediately just starts flirting with her, and she loves that shit. She loves it. And she leaves. Jason is like, what the fuck's going on here? This is weird as hell. And Sunny is like, I am definitely gonna fuck her. So she has to recuse herself, and then she can't prosecute me, her case will fall apart. And so that's the plan. It's an OG soap plan. That plan historically never made sense, but we just keep using it, so I'm just gonna go with it. But that was Tuesday's episode. This episode, oh my god, this episode gonna be so long. I'm so sorry. But let me hurry up and watch Wednesday. Maybe Wednesday will be boring as hell, and I'm not gonna have that much to say. It'll be like 10 minutes. Let's see what if it works out. Okay, we're back. Wednesday. A lot more succinct storytelling, so hopefully I can get through this quickly, though I do have several rants, so pre-apologize. But let's just jump into it. So we got Delusional Hospital, cannot escape it. Dark Willow is rising all over the place. She has, gotten her top henchman, who seems to be like she is circling the same, three men now. It's just Drew, Michael, or Chase. Those are her options. She can't manipulate Michael. She don't want Drew, and so Chase is now her person, and she has successfully manipulated him into capping for her with Michael. So Michael runs into Chase at the pool. Both of these people live at the Q mansion that has a pool and a lake, but they're still going to this 4 foot, like 9 by 9 foot ass pool for reasons. Okay, so we can have this public confrontation. Let's go. So, Chase tries to capture Willow. Michael is like, let me stop you there. I'm not trying to hear this shit. So, let's talk about something else. Chase is like, well, you ruined my marriage to Willow, so you gotta listen to me. And I'm calling bullshit right now because, like, this show really likes to bring shit up. Like, I didn't watch it, and I did. That, like, it is so much context is being left out of that crusty hostage situation wedding that Willow was put in, where Chase was literally supposed to die at the end and then he didn't. Let's talk about it. Why were Michael and Willow even together? How did they have a chance to fall in love? Oh, because Chase came up with a ridiculous plan to fake sleep with Sasha, making them think that they cheated on them, and so they did that stupid raggedy marriage of convenience that no one needed or wanted, and the judge got mad at anyway. Stayed married for GP, I guess, because they thought y'all were cheaters because you were so convinced that Nell could come take that baby back. And then finally, once you caved and Sasha was literally a crackhead, you were like, oh, actually, I love you, I want to get back with you, girl. By then she had already banged Michael, was already in love with him. She was gonna tell him that she was in love with Michael and that she didn't want to be with him. She was going to be honest. He gets himself poisoned in spy hospital shenanigans from back in the day. Remember that when he was poisoned and everyone thought that Finn was his dad, and that's how we found out that he's not his dad. Um, on Chase's deathbed, he was like, only thing I want in my life is to marry you. So she married him. But then Finn realized that he wasn't Chase's daddy, used Gregory's DNA because that's what made it work. And they saved Chase, but he was paralyzed, right? Now I know what you're saying. Like, well, at that point, why didn't she just be honest with him? Like, just get an annulment. Well, here's what's good. Chase then made it his life goal to walk for her and only her. He was like, girl, your love is the only thing that's gonna get me out this chair. It's just hostage situation after hostage situation when it came to Chillo at the end. And so while Chillo had a very cute relationship before Chase came up with the plan to fake cheat on Willow with Sasha, causing the whole fucking Milo relationship and causing Sasha to become a crackhead. um, that was cute, right? They had the little wine stuff, well, the little wine club. That was very cute. After that, nothing about that shit was cute. Nothing about that shit was cute. And Chase was not a fucking victim in my eyes. He was an unknowing hostage taker because he was just literally making his life and recovery based off of Willow's love instead of his own will to survive. That's how I saw it. So I would not be stopping my day to talk to him about some shit I don't want to talk to him about over that whack ass excuse. But Michael does. He's like, sure, bruh, let's talk about it. What do you have to say? Chase is like, please give her a chance. She was in a cult. And I'm like, that's not helping her case. Michael is like, so because she is prone to cults and brainwashing, she's just not responsible for her actions. Like, she just gets to do whatever the fuck she wants. So we all just got to be like, well, she was in a cult back in the day. So, that shit happens. Chase is like, nah, but like, she's a really nice person and she truly misses her kids. Like, she wasn't trying to hurt them. Michael's like, she did hurt them. I don't give a fuck what she was trying to do. She was trying to fuck my uncle. I'm aware of what she was trying to do. In the process of that, she hurt my kids. So what are we talking about? And then he lets it drop that she did other shit too. Like, fucking Drew is not the only thing she did, bruh. He's like, wah, 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 wah. Michael's like, stay out of this, bruh. Stay out of this. Like, but Chase, he literally says, I don't have all the details, but let me insert myself into the situation. So Willow, who you're speaking on behalf of, she didn't tell you all the fucking details, but you feel comfortable asking Michael of this, so you don't know exactly what she did to him to make him this fucking mad. You're just assuming that it's the Drillo relationship. And you're inserting yourself in this situation on her behalf so you can now be the biggest dummy in Delusional Hospital. Great. Great. Michael is like, I am not gonna do any of that, but thank you. Have a nice day. Um, Dark Willow is over at GH. Manipulating more men because she's gonna throw attractive biracial doctor into the mix. She can't wait to tell him all the terrible things that are happening to her and how everyone's being so mean to her. I'm obsessed with delusional ass Willow. She is so good at this. So we're gonna get to Mob Hospital at the end, but like Sonny has sent her away, and so she's like, Sonny doesn't want me to be his friend's nurse, and attracted biracial doctor's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Are you okay? She's like, I'm fine. Sonny was actually quite nice about it. Like out of everybody, he's the nicest person. Like so, since Sonny's the only person who doesn't like cuss her out in the streets, now he's nice. Okay, girl. Um, but she ends up being his like attracted biracial doctor's nurse off screen somewhere. We don't see it. We don't see these patients. We don't see this kid. Apparently she was great with the kid and that's why she should have her kids because she's great with kids at her job. What is everyone fucking talking about? What are you talking about? Okay. Y'all all agreed that her moving her kids into that man's house was fucking crazy. But now that she's not with him, you're like, well, she feels really bad about it. Okay, great. I get that y'all like that they can't have these characters like acting like Lucas at work and judging her and shit, but like them all being snowed by her is so funny. Like every single person, Drew and Nina wish they had it like Dark Willow. They wish they had it. If Dark Willow was running Drew's schemes for the past few months, shit would have been getting done. Like Black Hospital would have been brought to its fucking knees. Sonny be begging her to stop. Cause like Dark Willow got it and Drew and Nina do not. But she cannot wait to let it drop to attractive biracial doctor that Portia is being blackmailed by Drew. You see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? She's getting shit done. She's getting shit done. Drew needed to not be lying to her ass. He needed to get her in on the con because she was down the whole time. She was down the whole time. Now she's taking over the game. This is her game now. And she is right back to trashing Michael and being like, you know who's the great man? You know who's the greatest man ever? Chase. Chase, I am not a Chillo fan at all, but I know Chillo fans are losing it. I know that they are like, we are assembling, we are clicking back up because they just literally threw a chillo fucking signal into the air of Port Charles. Brooklyn, come get your man. Come get your man. Because it's crazy that you have this like Chaylin disagreement where he's making crazy fucking phone calls, where he's like, give me a case, find a dead body right now because I don't want to be around my wife. And now he's out here trying to fight Michael on Willow's behalf, and she talk about how he's the greatest man ever, unlike Michael. Um, Chillo versus Shaylin. Here we are. Here we are. I mean, nobody ever wanted Milo versus Drillo, and so now we got to sit through Chaylin versus Chillo. What I will say is that the Chaylin fans are not about to sit here and be cucked. Because those are mostly Brooklyn fans. And so Brooklyn's fans are not going to sit. They are already planning their Bronte future. They're like, listen, we got our eyes on a completely different prize. If Chase wants to act that way, he can go straight to hell. We not gonna sit here and deal with this shit. Not with our girl. And so they not even worried about it. So I don't even think there will be a Harrison Chase dick war, because the fandom, like one half of the fandom, is more than willing to give Harrison Chase's dick, his dick away immediately. Like, goodbye, Harrison Chase. Bronte is our future. And so I think that that's interesting that they're kind of like, I've said several times that this show, it never learns the correct lessons. Like, it did not learn the correct lesson from the Jason Morgan Dick Wars, which is that, like, people, people liked the storyline of that triangle. They liked the sort of like, it was the cattiness between Elizabeth and Sam that really made it in that ship. I don't think anybody really wants to see, but like, I would like to see Brooklyn cuss Willow out swiftly one time and then never talk to her ass again, and then get with Dante at this point. Like, I don't want to see her fight for Harrison Chase when he's a big old dummy. Like, he wants to exit, Mob Hospital so he could go join Willow, Dark Willow, and be her little man slave at fucking Delusional Hospital. Like, he just wants to be a slave to Delusional Hospital. Who wants that person? She could have him. Goodbye. Like, make Harrison Chase your little Renfield to Dark Willow's Dracula. Who gives a shit, right? And so I'm with y'all, Chaylin fans. Fuck that man. If that's how that man wants it, then he go right over with that crazy manipulative bitch and wait for her to cheat on him a second time. And so moving on, let's go over to Rocco's Hospital. Oh my god, Rocco's Hospital is like the true delusional hospital, but Dark Willow's Hospital already got the name, and so we got to keep calling it Rocco's Hospital. But like, everybody in Rocco's Hospital is delusional. Everybody in Rocco's Hospital is the dummy. But the biggest dummy of all is Rocco himself. The only reason why he wouldn't win the ultimate dummy off that I seem to be having this episode is because he's a little kid. He extra doesn't have a fully formed frontal cortex. Like, he is a child. He's got hormones raging. He don't know what he does. And so he is ineligible to win the dummy off of this week's episode. But don't, please do not get it twisted. He is dumb as hell. Let's talk about it. So Carly, who's also in the running for biggest dummy of Rocco's Hospital, she's the biggest dummy. She might be the biggest dummy in two different storylines. I don't think she's gonna win in either of them, but the fact that she's a dummy in two different storylines is very upsetting to me personally, because Carly is my favorite female character on this show, always has been. But Lulu goes to Carly for help with Liesel, and Carly is at first talking like a crazy person. She's like, "Oh my god, I can't, because Liesel is Willow's great aunt, and she gave the bone marrow that one time, and so I can't do it." Lulu is like, "What the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean Willow is a bone marrow? You don't even fucking like Willow. You'd suck that bone marrow right out her fucking bones right now if you could." Carly tried to be like, nah, 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 it's not that deep. Lulu's like, don't be so fucking serious right now. This is because of Jason, right? Because Jason banged that hoe in a lighthouse, and you gotta respect that. And so now I can't fight her fucking mom. Carly's like, yeah, That's it. That's 100% it. And Lulu's like, why didn't you just tell me that? And Carly's like, because I'm literally in a fucking fight with Lucas about Sunny. I didn't want to be in a fight with you about Jason. Like, I'm sick of my mob hospital affiliations pissing my family off. Like y'all haven't known this about me. Like, this is not a known fact in the Wikipedia page that I'm in mob hospital, a permanent member of it. Like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Lulu's like, look, I am just trying to protect my son because this crazy woman is showing up at his softball games and hanging out with him at the pool and telling him a bunch of bullshit about Britt that's not fucking true. And Carly is like, yeah, but how is she dangerous? I'm actually tired of everyone acting like Lulu is all irrational for hating this bitch when all these people are still mad about shit from decades ago. Decades ago. Like, so from before when Britt did this to Lulu. Like, Jason in 2017, the second he saw Franco, he punched his ass in the face. He was not over shit. He did not give a fuck that people were like, he's a different person. He had a brain tumor. He did all these things. He's married to Elizabeth. He didn't fucking care about that. He was literally like, fuck that man for life. And he stayed on that time until literally 30 minutes before Franco got by Peter August. Created the greatest gif I've ever seen because him slapping that man is so funny. But immediately gets got and then is pinned on Jason and then like Cameron is pulling guns on people. Listen, Jason had smoke for Franco. Carly will run up on Rick Lansing any chance she gets to remind him that he put her in a panic room. Just remind his ass. Like, you put me in a panic room, I did not forget. And I'm not saying that any of these characters should not feel this way, right? If Helena Cassadine just popped up right now, if like a screensaver of Helena popped up on Laura's desk on her computer, she would throw that computer against the wall immediately. But everyone's acting like because like they feel some type of way about Lisa, because people felt some type of way about Britt, that Lulu should get over that shit. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, several people that Carly has some type of connection to cap for Rick, and she don't give a fuck. She don't fuck with that man. Like, literally several people in Laura's family are Cassadines and she doesn't fucking care. She does not care that Charlotte is a Cassadine. The big OG Cassadines who ran that family can go straight to hell. She don't fucking care. Okay? So like this idea that Lulu just gotta get over that shit because she was in a coma and she wasn't there for the time when this show tried to pretend like Lisa Oberg wasn't a fucking terrorist and Britt wasn't a raggedy bitch who steals fucking embryos. She gotta just like get over that shit. Okay. Okay. This is what I mean when I say the story is not storying. And there was this thing, and I don't have a problem because, like, I'm not coming for Steve Burton. I understand, like, as an actor, you know, you are allowed to have pairings that you like. You are allowed to have actors that you want to work with. You are allowed to do all these things. And when I went to see Dominic Zampronia with Tracy, um, one of the things he said that really stood out was that the actors do not get the full script. They only get the pages that pertain to their character, the ones that they're in, the scenes that they're in. And most of them do not watch the show. And I've listened to Steve's podcast. He does not watch the show. Maurice Bernard does not watch the show. Dominic Zapronia said he does not watch the show. He was definitely asking us to like fill in the blanks for the parts of the story that his character is not directly attached to. Like, and I actually think that that's really good. I think it's really helpful for like learning things and having the correct emotions when you finally, when your character is let in on something that's attached to a part of GH that they're not currently in. And so I don't think, I'm not saying that's a problem. Like, oh, you need to give these, you know, actors this massive 500-page script of the week. What I'm saying is that like Steve Burton was like, I very much advocated for Kelly Seabob to come back, which, okay, cool. Yeah. I'm not trying to stop anyone from getting a bag or having a job. And I know that people have strong feelings about why they don't think she should come back. And those have all been stated. I'm not going to repeat them. I personally don't have a problem with it. What I am saying is that Steve Burton, when he was advocating for this, doesn't watch the full show. And so he knows as much about Brit as his character knows, which is fine. He doesn't need to know more. He doesn't write this show. Um, and the writers had to have known that like incorporating her back into the show was going to be really hard, given the fact that y'all, killed her and put her freaking photo on the wall. And then like they try to concoct this story because like at the end of the day, I think that like this is just a guess. This is just me pulling shit out my ass. I would believe that they decided to do something with animals originally, that they were going to do something with animals. And then once they decided to put Brit on the case, they realized that the only thing they could really do when it comes to OBGYN will probably be some weird, unethical cloning shit that nobody fucking wants. I think there was a time and a soap where you could do that, and it's not now, and it's not General Hospital. I think you could do shit like that, maybe today still, but definitely in the like early 2000s on Days of Our Lives. That's a Days of Our Lives story. It is not a GH story. And I think that there's just like a lot of people with a lot of different backgrounds and a lot of different belief systems, and like doing something like cloning would be really, really ethically bad. And so they switched to cold fusion, but that completely fucks the story. And now you got, all these weirdness with like Liesel and Britt and Rocco and Lulu and Dante. It's just not great. Because you literally have to say, like, literally, Carly is pretty much like, she saved Jocelyn and banged Jason in a lighthouse, and that's why you should let your son see this terrorist. And Lulu, like, what's she supposed to say? Because everyone has just decided that her beef is completely irrational because her teenage son, who we all agree is too young to be making these decisions anyway, is like put her ass up against a wall and like told her that Brit's his second mother. It's just like a bad story. It's just so bad. And like I said, I'm not anti Brit or Jabrit. I'm not blaming Steve Burton once more. I'm just pointing out that like while I get him advocating for his friend and a person that he likes working with, like the story that we had to do to make this happen is fucking nuts. It's fucking nuts. I'm gonna go with it. Like I said, like I've been saying for weeks, I'm gonna go with it. But I'm also gonna tell you this shit doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense that Carly Spencer, insert a bunch of marital names, would be like, I think you should let your son hang out with this terrorist. But whatever. So the terrorist Liesel, former terrorist known as Liesel, is legit stalking Rocco. She's like legit going to like Corinthos coffee games. And I'm like, damn, she's bold as hell. Because he's playing for the mob and she knows that's the mob. But I guess she figures because Jason's on the team and he's cool with her, like, yeah, I'm cool here doing that. She, like, just runs up on Jason, Danny, and Rocco, and she's like, hey, let's go get some ice cream. Jason's like, yeah, we're not doing shit until you guys clean up all that stuff over there. Go do that shit. And then he asks her what the hell her problem is, which is, like, correct. Like, girl, what are you doing? He's just like, why are you, like, forcing him to choose between, like, hanging out with you or lying to his parents? Like, you can see how that's fucked up, right? And she's like, well, like, my daughter, it's my connection to my daughter. Girl, I'm not good with a German accent. Kathleen Gotti is, though. This is not me making fun of her accent. Her accent is on point. I'm just bad at it. But Jason is like, does he know that this was all your idea? Like, it was your idea to steal him as a fucking embryo so you could, like, help your daughter keep Patrick because you had some weird correlation between, like, Sabrina and Patrick and, like, Anna and Faison. And she's literally like, why are you bringing up old shit? Why are you bringing up old shit? And I'm like, this is why I can't with the Westbournes. They never stand 10 toes down in anything that they do. They are very entertaining. Like, it's an entertaining quality when used correctly. See Dark Willow. And this is why I can never really like rock with you on a day-to-day basis. You must be doing shenanigans for me to be like, oh, okay, let's go. But they're talking. Danny is pretty much over by Rocco cleaning up shit, being like, fuck your parents, do what you want. Do what you want, man. If you want to learn about these crazy broads, you go do that shit. But Jason is able to convince Liesel to not go get ice cream and to maybe not put him in fucked up situations from time to time. We'll see. We'll see. I feel like that's not gonna hold. That's not gonna take. But let's do Mob Hospital as quickly as possible because I'm very aware that this is now getting very long. Sunny takes the horny DA to the hospital because apparently she like twisted her ankle. And she tells him to leave, and he starts to, but then she like starts hollering like, "Oh my god, my ankle, it hurts so bad." Tell me why not a single nurse turned around when she screamed. What's going on? What's happening, GH? All of them were really like, I got paperwork to fill out. Like, I got other patients. Like, nobody was concerned that this woman was hollering in pain. It's like, okay. Also, Sunny could come back and be the hero. Like, this is what I mean about this show is a fucking comedy. But Willow comes over and Sunny is pretty much like, nah, we need a new nurse. Thank you. Like, thank you for coming over and doing your job, but like, no, please go away. Um, Sunny then tells the horny DA that while he does feel bad for Willow, you know, his son needed to have them kids. He's just surprised that he did have them kids because he thought that at least she would get visitation. Like maybe Drew couldn't be there, but she would. He's just real surprised by that, and she's like, "Ooh, I like that. I love that. I believe everything that you're saying." Now we know that he's being honest, but like, why the fuck would she believe him? Like she is constantly. That's why she is in the running for the biggest dummy of Mob Hospital. Because what the hell? Like, Lucas, you have competition. Because the horny DA is dumb as hell. Because she flip flops and wavers on Sunny daily. Like, one day he's the most evil, lying ass bitch person who ever lived. And the next, like, oh my God, he's so honorable. I'm going to take my panties off. Terrible. Terrible. But Sunny is like, girl, let me just like, I've donated a lot of money to this hospital. I can get you in right now. She's like, no. And they just flirt the entire time. Just the entire time. Um, and like I said, biggest dummy in Mob Hospital. And she gets to see the doctor, and then he's waiting for her at the end, and she lets him take her home. Okay, girl. Okay, let's do the deception ladies because they're officially in Mob Hospital. They don't get their own hospital anymore. They're deep in Mob Hospital. So Tracy invites all the ladies of deception over. That's Lucy, Maxie. Maxie's back, by the way. It's not Temp Maxie. It's Kirsten Storms, and BLQ. She lives at the house, so she was already there. She tells the ladies of deception that they cannot turn on Sunny. They're all confused because they're like, "Girl, weren't you trying to put his ass in jail?" She's like, "Yes, yes, I am." But I can't put him in jail because if we do, the feds are gonna take all my money, and I actually cannot deal with that. Does Martin find out about this? Is this what Martin? Because like I know we're stuck to Monica's sister and Erica Slezak and but is maybe that's a double bluff. It does Martin find out about this and turn them in? Because he's on Drew Kane time now, so like maybe that's what happens, and that's how Tracy ends up poor. Because he did mention like, "Ooh, what if you were poor?" I don't know. But Lucy loves that Tracy don't want to turn in Sunny because she's team Sunny. Like deep down, she knows that Sunny is where her bank account lies. And she's just like, oh, I'm so glad we're not doing that. And Erica Kane would love to hear this shit. Erica Kane mentioned, there you go. BLQ is like, yeah, I did not want to turn in Sunny because I'm very worried about what my son would think about that. Um, But Maxie sounded like she about to snitch. Like she seemed real pissed about that. Like she was very down to put Sonny in jail. Which you know what? I'm not even mad. I was like very much like remember when Maxie was just like out here lying to FBI agents and shit about Michael killing people. But you know what? I get it's her company and she worried about her kids and her future and so I get it. But like I don't does she snitch? I don't know. And like what how do we stop her? And why would we stop her? Like and like I feel like even if she did that, Sunny would be like, "Shrug, I'm not gonna go after Maxie. It's Maxie." And so I don't know. We're gonna see what happens. Finally, we got Laura. She called Dante in to ask if Sunny kidnapped Latino's son off the record because somehow when she asked him shit and he's not clocked in as a cop, that is off the record. That is not how this works. Like off the record is like some journalist shit. It's not some law shit. That's not how this works. But they try to talk about not being complicit while being super complicit and being super happy that they can't prove that Sonny kidnapped Latino's son because like it would be really irritating and they like him. They like him a lot, so they don't want they're very connected to him, Rocco, all the things. Dante's his son. And so they're just like Dante's in his mobbed up era, to be honest. Like this is the most corrupt Dante's ever been. I'm just gonna keep that very honest. But then Laura tries to convince Dante to let Liesel hang out with Rocco. Now, at first he's like, "Fuck Liesel, I don't like her ass." But then he's like, I'll be down." But I don't think that Lulu will be down. So now I guess on Thursday's episode, the mission becomes get Lulu on board with Liesel for reasons. Great. I guess Rocco's hospital. Nah, it's still Rocco's. It's its own thing. It's its own thing. I mean, I guess like Laura and Dante started talking about Mob Hospital and they ended talking about Rocco's hospital, and I could have restructured that, but fuck it. That's how it went. Damn, this segment ended up being long too. My bad, y'all. I don't know. You go listen to it or you don't. It's like literally no punishment or reward for either. So let me go watch Thursday, and I'm gonna be right back. Okay, I'm back. So Thursday's episode, a lot of talking. There's a lot of talking this week, and I'm not opposed to dialogue heavy weeks. It's just so much sitting and talking, and it's like different. Like you'll be in one hospital, and then they'll start talking about a different iteration of General Hospital, and it's actually quite funny in Thursday's episode. Let's get into it. We're talking about Spy Hospital once again, disrespecting Spy Hospital by putting it ahead of Christina's hospital. Yep, that's what we did. It's ahead of Christina's hospital. You got Gio and Emma, and they're still talking about who is the biggest dummy in Spy Hospital, and they're specifically talking about the B&E that they're planning when Anna rolls through with that dog. And she's like, "What the hell is wrong with you two? Why y'all get a dog to abandon it in an apartment?" Like, I don't understand. Like, this dog was out in the world. Was it in the best situation? No. But now it's just locked in an apartment. It cannot go out. Y'all don't feed it. You not taking care of it. What's going on? They're both like, "Oh my God, I am so, so sorry about that. We love this dog. We care about this dog with all of our hearts." She's like, "Cool, then take the fucking dog." They're both like, "Nah, we got better shit to do than hang out with this dog today. I'm so, so sorry." Girl, kick them out there. Kick them out your house. Kick them out of your house. I would be like, "Listen, you gonna take this dog right now, or I'm gonna leave it at the pound." How about that? Because the pound, at least when they lock a dog up, we know why it's on lockdown. Why do you have a dog that you just constantly ignore so you could go hang out at the fucking pool and talk about a B&E? What the hell? But they're just like, "Well, you're the police commissioner. Like, nobody outraged you. You should just take this dog." And then she takes the dog. She takes the dog and she keeps talking about this stupid schedule they need to make that's going to somehow make having this dog better. What are we doing? What are we talking about with the fucking dog? Like, do we need a dog to make any of this happen? Like, how much does this dog get paid? How much does this dog get paid where like several cast members got the boot, but we got this dog that doesn't seem to serve any function except to be annoying, to just be a plot device for a reason for Anna to talk to her own fucking granddaughter. That's what the dog is. What's going on? Um, but whatever. She's like, listen, we gotta have this meeting, this house meeting about how to take care of this dog because the dog is about to get us all kicked out on the streets. Emma is like, I can't come to a meeting tonight because I'm going to finish my honey pot and pop my pussy for came for YNR in the front row of this lecture. Gio's like, I too will be there supporting Emma popping her pussy for Kane from YNR. Anna's like, okay, that's weird. Immediately goes to have that auditorium shut down. We're shutting it down. No one's popping their pussy tonight, actually. Um, at this point, she leaves. Trina comes, sees Ava for a second, then goes to hang out with Emma. Trina is like, so Joss called me from definitely Australia, where she definitely is, and said that you should not work for Kane from YNR because he is a bad man. Emma is like, well, Jocelyn Jax is a raggedy bitch and she ain't shit. Trina's like, let me stop you. That's my bestie. And I get that you got beef with her because she stole your homework that one time. I'm not saying it was an okay thing to do. What I'm saying is like, if she your op like this, but she's still going out her way to tell you to not work for Kane from YNR, then maybe you should not work with Kane from YNR. That's all I'm saying. Emma, hard headed as ever, just like whatever. She ends up finding out that Anna had the auditorium shut down, and she tells Gio that they're gonna do the B&E anyway. So this is extra gonna go wrong because now they're just doing a straight B&E again, essentially. She don't even have a group with her this time. It's just her and this the violin boy wonder, and not even the dog. The dog is with Anna. The dog about to be living with Laura, to be honest. But let's go back to Anna. So Anna goes to see Laura to talk about Mob Hospital. Like, what do we know about Mob Hospital? Anna's like, I think white East African warlord set Charlie's on fire, but I can't prove it. Laura and her, it's so funny because like this time last year they were both like, ooh, Sonny is so bad. He kidnapped Latino, he beat Cyrus half to death. That's bad. But now that he kidnapped Latino's son, they're like, well, white East African warlord kind of asked for that shit. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing. They just understand that they cannot have Anna and Laura going this hard against Sonny, even though it does make sense for them both to be like, you shouldn't be doing that. But they're talking about that when this HOA dragon lady shows up to complain about this dog. And she is so funny. She's like, I have worked so hard to have this apart. You know what? I would not be a part of HOA, but if I did own my own place and someone had an annoying fucking dog, I would be this lady, like going to the mayor. I'm going straight to the mayor. And when I first watched it, like when it aired, because I did watch this episode live. When I first watched it, I was like, what is this bitch doing? Like, why does the mayor handle this shit? Is this under the mayor's purview? Like go talking about a dog and a HOA and some shit like that. But I did realize that like Anna is the police commissioner, and so technically the only person higher than her probably is the mayor since this is a kingdom, like this is the kingdom of Port Charles, and Laura is not necessarily the mayor as much as she's its queen, and she just appoints people. She appoints DAs, she appoints police commissioners, she's appointing people. And so technically the lady was right. She had to go to the Queen of Port Charles herself and ask her to, tell Anna to get rid of this dog. And Anna is really like, I don't know why this lady tripping. Like, look how cute this dog is. The dog is barking in Laura's office. Like the lady had a whole like videotape of the dog just barking for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And the dog in the middle of her playing the dog barking, the dog started barking with itself. The dog is barking with itself. That's how loud this fucking dog is. So she bounces like, get rid of that dog. She's literally in her wicked. She's a wicked witch of the west. Like remember, I cannot remember what her real name was because like the Wizard of Oz was like a fever dream. Remember, so I can't remember what her real name was. But remember that like the Wicked Witch of the West was actually the neighbor who was trying to kill, Toto. Crazy. She's that lady. She said, kill that dog. I'm sick of it. Anna's like, what's her problem? Like, I know that I have an apartment in a building that does not allow pets, and I have brought a pet into the building that is loud as fuck that my granddaughter refuses to take care of. She just abandoned the dog in the building. But what's that bitch's problem? Like, Anna, You know what her problem is. And she's just like, look how cute this dog is. The dog is barking while she's saying that. Anna has to tell the dog, shut the fuck up. And Laura's like, look, girl, you gotta get rid of that dog. I don't know what to tell you. I'm queen of this town, and I say get rid of the dog. Why is she going harder on Anna and this dog than she went on Sunny in yesterday's episode? Like her and Dante were really like, look, we're not trying to be compliant, but like let's also be super compliant because I don't want to have the annoyance of like arresting Sonny and having to talk to all the people about why he needs to be arrested. So like let's just go along to get along. But now she's like, Anna, you gotta get rid of this dog. This show is a fucking comedy. Like, this is a comedy. It's so funny. But that's Spy Hospital. Let's move away from it. Let's go to Christina's hospital. Get that out the way. This really should have been the first story, but like I said, I'm this week I'm just actively disrespecting Spy Hospital on GP. And so Christina's hospital. First, we got Cody and Felicia. Felicia invites Cody to some, probably off screen barbecue that Mac is hosting where he invited. The only reason why I think it's off screen is because, like, you want to have the illusion that there's like an actual police force and like other attorneys. But if we see it, then we're just gonna see Molly, Horny, DA, Dante, Chase, and that's it. Maybe they bring out Black Detective. I don't know, but Anna will be there and Cody, and there's just gonna be like seven people there. And so I think it will be off screen, but she invites Cody to the potentially off screen barbecue. If it's not off screen, I will eat crow. But Cody's like, I can't go to that because Molly's gonna be there and she don't fuck with me and I don't even know why. Like I don't know why. I didn't even do anything to her. He doesn't know that Christina is the one who made Molly not fuck with him. He's very confused. But Felicia's like, you should still come because that's your daddy. And like, Molly is a professional. She's not going to just fight with you in the barbecue. So you should just come. He's like, okay, I'll come. That's literally the only thing we get of Cody and Felicia. Let's go to Rick, Liz, and Ava. So Ava walks in on Rick and Liz making googly eyes at each other at GH because apparently Lucas is staying with Ava. Lucas is truly, you ain't shit. You are not shit because why are you, oh, you just gonna move in with Carly's op like that? Like I get that that's your aunt, but like the fact that they had Lucas rewrite his own Jerome history because he's mad at Sonny and Mob Hospital is fucking crazy. Like, okay, Lucas, when Latino son makes you look dumb, we gonna let you move back into the mob compound, but I'm gonna remind you about it every fucking day. Every fucking day, I'm gonna remind you that you got by fucking Latino son and you were talking shit about me hanging out with Sonny and Jason, that you were bamboozled and that you were out here living with Ava Jerome who murders people and helps your raggedy daddy capping for your daddy who put Lulu in a coma, all for Latino son who was mobbed up the whole fucking time. We gonna let you live at the mob compound though. You got the key. You still got a key. You can still come in. We not gonna turn our back on you, but I will remind you every day for the rest of your life. Um, but Ava had come because Lucas stayed with her, and she had got him his own parking spot, which I think was a funny nod to the fact that the reason that Rick and Liz got into the accident is because Ava only had one parking spot and Rick parked in it, and so her car was not actually there. But she brings the little like garage door opener. Liz is like, I can save it for him. Lucas is busy, but like I can hold it for him. Ava's like, yeah, that'd be great. Thank you so much. And Liz leaves. Rick has some real awkward running with Ava, like, oh hey girl, yeah, long time no see. Ava's just like, yeah, cause you never around. Cause you don't hang out with me, cause you don't like me. Rick is like, nah, girl, I totally like you. We are together. We are so in love. Like, she's like, cool, we're in love, then let's hang out. We haven't hung out, right? So let's hang out. Let's go to the pool. He's like, oh no, I can't hang out with you today. I'm so busy working on Willow's case that isn't until October. Like the trial is not until October. It's August. It's August. So you can't hang out with Ava until October? Okay, make it make sense. And so she's like, cool, that 1,000% makes sense. It's not like I'm completely privy to everything that you know because Nina is paying you and that's my bestie. It's not that I don't know that you lying to me. You lying to my face. And so he's like, I am 100% not lying to you. I would love to be with you right now, but I am so, so busy. Goes to kiss her, and then here comes Liz. Hey, Rick, more people want to testify for Willow because her Dark Willow's campaign to manipulate all of Port Charles against Michael is actually working. Um, when Liz comes out, Rick no longer wants to kiss Ava in front of her. And so Ava clocks that immediately. She's like, oh, okay, okay. I see what time it is. She texts Cody to come meet her at the pool so he could be her little boy toy. She gonna stay booed up. She gonna find her a little young boy toy to make her feel better. And he's getting even more money from Christina, and he thinks Molly don't like him, so he's like on his fuck it era, let's go. And they start rubbing ice on each other and making out at the pool, and it's very gross to me. To me. Just because they were doing way too much. Like, these are two, more or less beautiful. More or less could get it. And then, Cody Bill, what's his name? He has a name that is not Cody Bell. Josh Kelly, right? If that is not the name, I apologize. He is generically attractive white man, right? I'm just saying that they were giving like two toothless people sucking jelly out of a donut energy when they were kissing. And this is coming from a person who likes Cody and Ava together. I don't know why I wasn't feeling it. Like I said, it could 100% just be me being like the situation. I don't want to see Ava get cucked by multiple men on this show. And I think that's what's happening. Is that as much as I want to like it, I wanted to like Ava and Rick because I think on paper, Rava is a great thing. But like it's all turning into let's watch Ava get cucked by multiple men on this show because they would rather be with a different bitch. I don't want to see it. And I don't even like Ava Jerome as a character. I just don't like when this happens to women. Hate this shit. And so, you know, that happened. Rick ended up calling Martin to be his attorney because he would like to break up with Ava as much as Ava would like to break up with him. And so while she's gone straight to Alexis, he has gone to Martin. And I don't know, is this because he wants to like keep blackmailing Alexis without Ava? Because if that's so, like, Rick truly ain't shit. But Rick got way more reason to be mad at Alexis than Ava ever has. Like, she mad at some Julian shit, but, like, Rick and Alexis been beefing for decades. So, Alexis loves to choose Sonny over Rick any chance she gets, even though she knows Sonny ain't shit. And so that is them. Finally, we got Alexis and Christina, the Christina that makes it Christina's hospital. They're essentially in public, once again, in a public place, not being quiet, talking about their goddamn Ava and Rick shenanigans and how they feel bad for Molly. And she could show up at any point, and plenty of people who know Rick and Ava are around and could tell them, but they're still like, let me talk about this, like, fucking plan that we have to get Rick and Ava to turn on each other because we're being blackmailed. Just all the public shenanigans everywhere talking about it. And so, Molly shows up, and so they start talking about Scout. And they're like, we should take Scout to the ballet or some shit, but we gotta ask Drew because, Drew ain't shit. And Alexis is like, I'm gonna do that, but I don't wanna do it in front of you because I'm probably gonna have to beg this ain't shit man, and I don't wanna do that in front of y'all. And so Molly is like, let's go to the pool. Christina's like, okay. Because Molly was like, are you sure you want to do that? Like, let's go to the pool if you're comfortable. And Christina's like, thank you for asking if I'm comfortable. I can go to the pool. I'm getting over dead baby summer. And so Christina goes upstairs first, and she sees Ava and Cody being all gross. Her face was my face. That's why I said, like, because when she made that face, that was me. I was like, ugh, nah, girl. But she decides she's not gonna have her sister walk in on that, and so she decides that, like, she's like, maybe we should go to the lake. There's like rude teenagers upstairs. Like, Danny and Rocco ain't even working today, but like there's rude teenagers upstairs. Let's go to the lake. And so I guess that's her trying to be a good sister. Girl, you are a terrible sister, and your whole plan is now tarnishing Ava and Cody for me because I liked it when I was like, oh, they feeling each other. When he was like, oh, Ava's more complicated than you're giving her credit for. But now he's like, oh, I'm thirsting after Molly and she's mad at me and I'm checking moles out and shit. And so now I just got me feeling bad for Ava, and that's the real crime, making me feel bad for Ava Jerome. So let's move on. Let's go away from Christina's hospital. Let's go to Delusional Hospital. So Stella is 1,000% doing insurance fraud all over the shop, just with everybody. Like every single person has some insurance fraud done, which I'm on Stella's side, right? She's doing the Lord's work. She's helping people out. She's giving people what they need, but it is definitely about to blow up in her face because Drew is now principal, chief executive officer, head boss in charge of Delusional Hospital. He is King Delusional. Willow took her crown off and threw it at his ass when she ran out that wedding, and he put it straight on his head and he said, I run this town now because Drew is out here threatening white East African warlord. Yes. And that just put his death clock 1 minute from midnight because that man has to be aware of how many people hate Drew in this town. And he would love to frame several people for that man's murder. And so before Drew can really realize how much danger he truly is in, Lucy interrupts them. Drew is like, give me the shit I need. Because Drew had asked White East African Warlord to get him whatever he has on Sunny. And White East African Warlord's like, bruh, I'm not going to do that. What you talking about? Like, I'm not in Delusional Hospital anymore. I'm in Mob Hospital. I thought you got the memo. Drew's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not asking. Give me the shit. And he leaves. He then goes to meet Martin at the Metro Court, where Martin once more tells him about the insurance fraud that Stella's committing for him. But luckily, in this moment in time, Drew is like, I do not give a fuck about whatever you're talking about because I'm just too busy trying to steal Willow's kids so I can trick her into coming back to me. He asked Martin to be Willow's attorney because he knows in her heart that she wouldn't want Nina paying Rick to be her attorney. First of all, Rick has already got that on lock, said he doing it pro bono. And secondly, why would she want you to pay for her attorney? Like if she don't want Nina paying for it, she damn sure don't want you paying for it. But he's like, we need to get stuff on Michael. We need to get stuff on Sonny. We need to do all these things. Martin is really trying to speak reason to Drew because remember way back, Martin didn't even like Rick's strategy of going after Michael. He thought that shit was dumb as fuck. And so he's like, listen, Michael looks like a fucking saint. No one gives a fuck about him being attached to Mob Hospital right now when she running around acting all crazy, running around in wedding dresses with raccoon eyes. She needs to stop acting crazy and act sane, and she kind of needs to not be with you. He's like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Did you not hear me when I said I am now the president and CEO of Delusional Hospital? I'm taking over for Willow, and I'm gonna get that woman back and her fucking kids, and we're gonna move to DC where nobody knows us, and I'm gonna start over, and everyone's gonna think I'm a fucking hero again. At that point, Alexis comes over because, like I said, she want to take Scout to the ballet. Drew is like, I'm busy being delusional. Martin is like, nah, girl, you talk to him because I'm done talking to his ass. I have another meeting and I've had enough delusion for today. He goes to have that meeting with Rick where he becomes Rick's attorney. Alexis is like, hey, me, Molly, and Christina were hoping to take Scout to the ballet in New York City. How does that sound? Like second September, second weekend in September. That sounds great, right? Drew is like, no, she can't do that because I'm taking her and moving her to DC with Willow and her kids. So we're gonna be busy. Alexis, you can see in her eyes that like the Cassadine taking over. Like Drew, like that's what I mean. Like he's delusional. He's King Delusion because he's awaking several sleeping giants throughout town. Like he's so worried about Sonny Corinthos. First of all, he's treating Sonny Corinthos like he's some man to steal on. Like Sonny Corinthos owe him anything, won't take his ass out and throw him in the Pine Barrens tomorrow. That's one. Then he's threatening white East African warlord. Why are you doing that, sir? Why are you doing that? Like, not you believing the con that he's perpetrating, that he's not a fucking mobster. He's a white East African warlord, Drew. Weren't you in the military? Weren't you a Navy SEAL? Whatever. And now he's unleashed Cassadine Alexis by telling her he gonna take her granddaughter and bounce the fuck out. Terrible. Terrible. Drew is now might be the biggest dummy in Delusional Hospital, because what's going on, sir? Sir, you making terrible mistakes. But let's move on. Let's get through Thursday as quickly as possible. Let's go to Mob Hospital. So we get Brooklyn and Sunny talking. They talk about various things of shoes and ships and sealing wax of cabbages and kings, right? They're talking about Rocco's hospital. They're talking about the Mob Hospital. They're talking about all the things. Like, Brooklyn decides to tell Sunny that what she did to Rocco, but swears on Gio's grave that on his life, he's not dead. Why did I say grave? Well, she swears on his life that she didn't do that shit on purpose. Girl, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You changed your mind, but it's too late. By the time you changed your mind, it was too late. And so that, it happened on purpose. Like, it's not like he didn't break into your room and find that shit. Like, it was, you left it in the living room. Like, you didn't, it was too late to say. But like Sonny, like me, Sonny don't give a fuck. Sonny's like, yeah, shit happens. Um, Shrug. And then she's like, well, we're not going to turn on you because that would be too messy. And to be honest, I didn't want to. And neither did Lucy. And so he's like, great, love it. Let's not lose the connection that we have, goddaughter. And then they hug. And it's very cute. It's a very cute moment between Sunny and be cute. And Sonny is definitely in his I don't give a fuck forgiveness era. He's just like, this was 15 years ago. Brooklyn would have been swiftly cussed out. Like, how fucking dare you? How you do that to my son? For multiple things, right? How you not tell my son about his baby? Why would you do that to his other son? Barware would have been thrown. But Sonny today is just like, yeah, shit happens, girl. I get it. You want to get Lulu back for not minding her fucking business. I hear you. I hear all that. Right? Shouldn't have done it. Wish he hadn't done it. But Rocco's alright. He's a kid. He's gonna bounce back. And that's Sunny. He's in his forgiveness era, which makes everyone else look more irrational. And I kind of love it. But that's pretty much all Sunny and BLQ done. Let's go to Jordan. So Jordan is telling Laura that she like enjoys fake working for white East African warlord over at Mob Hospital, but she's not really in the inner circle because she hasn't really proved to white East African warlord that she's not a snitch. And it's probably because you keep having meetings with the mayor. I mean, I get that you had a reason to be there and you were like doing stuff on his behalf, but like you are besties with the police commissioner and the mayor, and it makes you seem, you know about that life. Makes you seem, copped up. And so she's like, I think that Latino's son is the actual mobster, which technically is not it's not wrong, but it just that's a recent occurrence. He just got mobbed up. Like it's definitely white East African warlord been running his shit the entire time. Y'all just cannot find it. You bad at this, but you can't find Sonny running it, and so y'all not being able to prove that he is a white East African warlord. That doesn't mean that he's not a white East African warlord because you can never prove that Sonny is a mobster, right? But she's like, what I gotta do is I gotta start committing crimes. Laura is like, well, you are actually a civilian now, so I don't think you should commit crimes because then you can go to jail. Jordan's like, no, 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 I definitely gotta go commit crimes. She goes to see white East African warlord and learns about the deception mob shenanigans. And Lucy lets it slip to white East African warlord that Maxie is the weakest link. And so does that come back? Is Maxie about to get got? I don't think she's gonna get killed. And we know that Kirsten Storm's about to be off the show for a few months. But like, did she get locked away? Is something happening? What's going on there? But that is Thursday's episode. Let me stop now and go watch Friday's episode because this is already long enough. Okay, finally, we're finally at Friday. We're finally at the end. We made it. So let's just jump into it. Spy Hospital being disrespected for the final time. Um, Brit is still somewhere in the Balkans being a whole ass menace. Doing cold fusion, I guess, but refusing to do cold fusion because it's too hot in the lab where she's doing cold fusion. I don't know enough about cold fusion to know if that's a problem, to be honest. But she's like, I'm not gonna do it. I have very high standards. At this point, it seems like nondescript European man has had it with her shit. He is over everything she doing, all this behavior. He's like, get your ass up. We gonna get it done. At that point, Joss and Dollar Tree Dex roll through. It's literally the end of the episode. Just wanted to get out the way because it does not matter. It does not matter. Nothing about Brit's return makes sense. But she's here. She's alive. Let's stay with Spy Hospital. So Carly invites Pikeman on some vacay when Anna rolls through to talk to Carly about someone in her family, and Pikeman looks terrified. But she's not there to snitch on Joss. She's there to fake discuss Latino son's abduction to fuck with Pikeman. Now, obviously, Carly not trying to talk about that. She's like, "Girl, you know I'm mobbed up. Like, don't talk to me about this. Not without my lawyer." And pretty much tells Anna that she got better shit to do and to get out her fucking hotel. I love messy Anna. Because Messy Anna, she just went there to do that. She just literally went there to do that shit. Pikeman is like, why did you do that? Why did you do that shit? Anna was like, to see how you would react. I wanted to see your face crack at the threat of me snitching. And he's like, well, you ain't gonna say shit because it's treason. And she lets it be known that if Joss even gets a paper cut on this fucking mission, she gonna sing like a canary and watch him get his ass beat by Carly. And so that's happening. Carly comes back to get snowed by Pikeman some more. And he's like, ooh, girl, I need to be honest with you. I haven't been telling you everything. And it seems like he's gonna tell Carly, but I doubt it. I doubt that we're getting the reveal that Joss is a spy on Monday. So let's say that right now. If I'm wrong, I will say that I was wrong, but I do not think that that's coming out anytime soon. But Anna, she immediately goes to Jason to say, like, hey, you know how I told you you should just let Britt die with dignity? Fuck all that. You got to go find her ass right now. Because by finding Britt, he will, by extension, find Jocelyn. So she found a way to get people to find out that Jocelyn Jackson's in Spy Hospital without actually committing treason. Round of applause for Anna Duvain. But that is Spy Hospital. Under 3 minutes, got it out the way. Let's go to Black Hospital. So Portia, an attractive biracial doctor, that seems like it's happening, and it seems like he's super into it. Like she's a little into it, but he seems real into it. He seems like if I can't have Jordan because she's getting back together with her ex husband, and I'm gonna take Curtis's current wife. I'm here for it. I'm here for messy, attractive, biracial doctor. But he comes out of surgery and he sees Portia. He's like, oh, hey, girl, I'm so glad to see you. She's like, oh my God, yeah, I decided I'm not going to quit nor leave my husband. So I'm not leaving my job or my husband. And he genuinely looks upset about that second one. He's like, oh, I'm so glad that you're staying with your crusty fucking husband. That's so, so great. It's amazing. And she's like, isn't it? And he goes to leave. He looked so disappointed that Aunt Stella was like, let me go talk to her about this. What's going on with you, an attractive biracial doctor girl? Because it looks messy. Portia's like, no, what are you talking about? It's definitely not that. And she informs Stella that the issues between her and Curtis, which she knows that she noticed, they were not caused by attractive biracial doctor. Not those problems. Future problems, yes, they will be caused by attractive biracial doctor, but these current ones, not him. But they tell each other that they love each other. Drew comes around the corner. We're gonna get to Delusional Hospital. We'll get there. Let's stay at Black Hospital. Curtis and Jordan. So Curtis and Jordan run into each other at the park. Curtis tells Jordan about the supposed Drew truce that makes him a big dummy. That's why he's the big dummy at Black Hospital. And that him and Portia are staying together. Why are you still talking to her? Why are you still talking to her when you were having an emotional affair with her? They even talk about like, well, now that you're getting back together with your wife, we could be friends. Why would y'all be friends when you were trying to get back with Curtis? Why would you think that Portia should be okay with that? This is what I mean when I say Jordan is a loser. Why you want to be friends with this man? This is so dumb. But she tells Curtis that she loves her job working at Mob Hospital with White East African Warlord and that she just bought an apartment to prove her loyalty to him. And I don't really know how that proves your loyalty. Like, oh, she bought a nice ass apartment, so obviously she's down to crime. Okay, sure, that's what that means. But he's like, you should let me come see your apartment. Let me go on a walkthrough and da da da. Why do you need to do all this? This is so inappropriate. I don't want to hear about your off-screen Baltimore friendship. You guys used to be fucking married. Stop. It's so disrespectful. Cheat on him, Portia. Cheat on him with attractive biracial doctor, especially because when they're having this beautiful powwow of friendship and respect, a attractive biracial doctor walks up on it and he's like, yeah, I'm definitely sleeping with this man's wife. And so I can't wait to see it. Sleep with him with Portia at the cabin. Because fuck Curtis. Fuck Jordan. They can have each other. I'm sick of them. But that's Black Hospital. Let's move past it. We're gonna get through Friday quick. Cause Friday not a lot happened on Friday, to be honest. It was very cut and dry. Delusional Hospital. Like we only got two more hospitals left and I'm done. It's gonna be great. Um, but Delusional Hospital. So Alexis goes to see off-screen Monica. Obviously, Monica is off-screen, so she cannot have visitors. Jason is like, Monica is busy being off-screen and ill. What can I help you with? She tells Jason that Drew is moving to DC with Scout and that she needs Monica's help to stop him because apparently he'll listen to Monica. Didn't he try to dig up her husband and throw him on a trash heap, his own daddy? Whatever. The plan makes sense in Alexis's mind. What I find very interesting is I know when Alexis was going through stock of her daughter's baby daddies, she never thought that Jason would be the more reasonable of the two. Like she's always been team like Dream fan. She's always been team Sam and Drew. Sam and Drew is what is hot. Drew put Sam first. Jason is trash. And now look at us. Now look where we are. It's crazy. But it's really good scenes between Alexis and Jason where she's like, listen, like, this man truly ain't shit. I don't know what happened. Like, he's sleeping with his nephew's wife. He's sleeping with her mama. He's making his daughter, my granddaughter, live with his mistress and her kids. Her mama just died. He don't give a fuck. And now he wanna move her to DC. I can't have it. I'm over this shit. I'm over this behavior. I need Monica to get involved because that's the only person he will potentially listen to. Now, once again, I don't know why he would listen to her because he literally tried to throw the love of her life, his dead body on a trash heap. But he's like, let me go talk to her. So Jason goes off screen to talk to off screen Monica. And off screen Monica says that she will call Drew off screen and try to get him to not move to DC. And as Tracy from Sunday Shift is always saying, he can't move to DC because you have to live in the district in which you are the congressperson for. Because what the fuck is the point if you live in DC? Like, how do you know what Port Charles needs if you live in DC? You need to live here. But whatever, we gotta have drama. So, at the same time that Alexis is talking to Jason, Drew is over with Liz. And now Drew is trying to snow Elizabeth like he's been snowing everyone else. Like Willow has nothing without me. Like she won't have anything if we don't get back together. And Liz is very quick to be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like she literally has an entire community at GH that's down for her, but like she didn't know because you're too busy listening to your punk ass. Like, why are you trying to make it seem like she's literally staying with me? Like, she's staying with me. I'm doing all this work. I've become a paralegal working for Rick Lansing to help her get her fucking kids back. And you gonna stand in my face and tell me she don't have nobody without you? What the fuck are you talking about? And so Drew was like, "Oh, my bad, my bad, my bad." This is the problem with you, my guy. This is why you're now king and CEO president of Delusional Hospital. And you try to make everyone else delusional with you. And like, here's the thing: you pay Martin and Rick to be delusional, but you don't pay Elizabeth to be delusional. And like, Nina was never delusional. She was just afraid of losing her daughter. And you were blackmailing Black Hospital. You have literally never had a single person on your side except for disloyal fucking football player. And that's because he doesn't actually know any of the shit that you do. But Liz is like, listen, what you need to do is you need to step off and let Willow live her fucking life. And maybe y'all will find an honest way back to each other. But like right now, you need to leave her the fuck alone. And I'm not trying to judge you because obviously I did sexually assault you back in the day when I thought you were Jason. That's my bad. If I knew that you were not Jason, I would not have done that. But I did do that and I can't take it back. And you were mad as hell. And I had to work my way back to gain your trust. That's what you got to do with Willow. Like, why are you trying to make it like you didn't just do what the fuck you did? And he's still like, well, I didn't tell her about Nina because I didn't give a fuck about Nina. And Liz is like, okay, well, that's the worst thing you've ever fucking said. I'm gonna pretend like you didn't just say that to me. But also, you still fucked her mom and didn't tell her, and she found out in the worst fucking way. And then it reminds him again about Curtis. Like, oh, fuck Curtis. Like, fuck that truth. Fuck him. And so, like I said, Liz is like, you just need to, like, back off and let her live. And he's like, absolutely the fuck not. I will never choose honesty when it comes to Willow. And he leaves. And while he's walking out, he sees Portia and Stella hugging because they were like, "Oh my God, I love you so much. We're a family." And he decides to he calls somebody in Congress and opens up a fraud investigation on fucking Stella Henry. He is 30 seconds from midnight now. He's 30. This actually might get Curtis active, to be honest. Like, if he finds out that Drew put the law on his beloved aunt, the one who pretty much raised him as a child, he might get active. Like, you guys, so like, she has so many people. Martin is no longer your attorney when he finds out this is happening. Martin is definitely not your attorney after he finds out this is happening. um Once Liz finds out what you did, she will definitely make sure that Rick is not your attorney. She will make that her life mission to make sure that Rick Lansing does not represent you. You will have Sonny on your ass. Like, Sonny loves Stella Henry. Like, what are we doing with Drew at this point? It's so crazy to me that they're just like destroying this character. Like, I have no idea. Because I think for a second we thought they were trying to rehab him through Dark Willow. Nah, he's still as terrible as ever. It's crazy. But let's go to the final segment. Let's end. This episode is long enough. Let's end it. It's Rocco's hospital. So Laura ambushes Dante and Lulu to let Rocco see Liesel, to like take a meeting with Liesel and let Rocco talk to her. So she gets Liesel to come to her office and talk to Lante, and that shit goes about as bad as you think it could. It starts off decent enough, right? It starts off decent. Lulu is unnecessarily apologizing to Liesel for justifiably running up on her at the Metro Court pool when she saw her with her son. But she's like, well, I guess you're a guest at the hotel. He works at the pool, whatever. But then Liesel immediately begins to act like she has a right to be in Rocco's life, which is absolutely incorrect. So out of pocket. Dante has absolutely no time for Liesel and her bullshit, even though he was the one who initially agreed to even have this fucking meeting with her like days before Lulu got involved. Like, Lulu just heard about this shit 30 minutes ago. But Dante been knew this was coming. And he still came in like with the energy, like, I will punch this bitch in the face if I get a chance. Like, if she gives me a chance to have to punch her, I will, even though she's a lady and you should not punch ladies. But fuck her. Um Lulu is like, so we have decided that you can see Rocco under our supervision. And Liesel gets extremely defensive about this and starts saying that Brit's blood runs through her veins, and like, does Laura and Olivia have to have these rules and regulations? And Liesel is a habitual line stepper. Habitual. Because, bitch, what are you fucking talking about? I don't have to let you see my son at all, to be honest. I could call the cops every time you go around him. I could get a fucking restraining order because he's 15. So he don't get a say. I can get a fucking restraining order, and anytime I see you with my son, I can have you arrested. And now you're trying to say Brit's blood runs through her Rocco's veins. How does it run through her veins? Did she even pass medical school? Like, what are you talking about? Dante and Lulu's embryo was used. Brit is a fucking surrogate. And like, this was so controversial on Twitter that people had to literally look up things like, does a surrogate's blood get passed through the placenta? And like, the computer said no. doctors and medical professionals say no, that's not how fucking surrogacy works. Like, and so the fact that Lisa even talking about this doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, girl, what are you talking about? And so Dante at this point understandably pops off. Like, understandably, like, bitch, you not a grandmother, you a criminal. That's who you are. You the bitch who steals embryos. You stole embryo. You tried to make me a super soldier. You do. That's what you do. And so, you know what? You take the little crumbs we give you, or you get fucking nothing. Um, Lisa starts talking like you wouldn't even have Rocco if it wasn't for Brit, like Brit special or something. Why is what are you talking about? Like Dante is even like we would have just got a different fucking surrogate. What you talking about? And like Lisa starts talking like, well, not everything takes and like it wouldn't have taken. What are you talking about? They literally just announced on the news that they had the world's oldest baby born with a 29-year-old embryo, like an embryo from like 1994. No, yeah, 29. And so what the fuck are we talking about? Or no, 1994 would be 31. So a 31-year-old embryo, right? Because it's 2025. I'm a historian, not a mathematician. There you go. 31 years, right? 31-year-old embryo, and that took. And so why wouldn't they just not, why couldn't they get another surrogate? What the fuck are you talking about? I'm actually sick of Liesel. Like, I want someone to like open up a fucking manhole cover and then she just falls down it and then we put the cover back and now she gotta live out the rest of her life as a fucking Ninja Turtle. Cause I'm sick of her ass. What is she talking about? And so Dante is understandably like, listen, I'm gonna spend the rest of my life trying to find every goddamn crime and terrorist action that you've taken, and I'm gonna arrest you for all of them. And then that way you can't talk to my son. And she's like, well, what is Rocco gonna think when you arrest the only person who give him answers about Brit? Who gives a fuck what Rocco thinks? What are you talking about? I'll wait the 3 years for him to be 18 just on some GP shit, just to fuck with you. And then he comes see your ass in prison. But I hate Lisa so much. I love the idea of Lisa on the show, and I think the actress is amazing, and I like the conflict and stuff. But like, if she's on the show, I'm not on her side. I'm not on her side. I'm so irritated. I'm irritated that the show got me on Lulu's side. I'm very irritated by that. But that is that's Friday's episode. That is the week. This episode is long enough. It's long enough because I went on several rants. I apologize, or you're welcome if you like them. But if you like this, feel free to like it. Feel free to give me a like and a subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're using a podcasting platform, please give me 5 stars. Feel free to leave me a comment. I love the comments. Like Spotify, people leave me comments, and I try to respond to all of them or at least like them. And then also YouTube, I love y'all's comments. So fun. But thank you for listening, and I will see you next week. Bye.